Hey everybody, welcome to the Wrestling Fans Incite Pro Wrestling Weekend wrap up. I'm Carlos. I'm currently being joined with my co-host Stampede. How are you guys doing today? We'll be here talking about wrestling. Our usual simulcast that we usually do on X and on YouTube. We can't do it today. The Hoppy Brothers are off vacation again because they got that Tony Khan money, So Stampede are here holding the fort. How are you doing, Stampede? You there, Stampede? There. Knock, knock.
Had to switch the audio over.
Gotcha. How's it going?
Good. Got the Rev Pro show ordered, but haven't seen it yet.
You ordered it?
I did. It's like $13.
Oh, look at you go.
So, got a lot of good people on that card.
Is that the one? Is that the MJF and Mike Ola or whatever?
Yeah, MJF, Michael Oku, Dijak was on there. Trevor Lee, formerly Cameron Grimes, Will Ospreay showed up. Like I said, I haven't seen it.
Hello.
Hey, Leonardo. So I'll give my thoughts on that probably Tuesday when we.
When does it come on?
It's on today. It's already happened.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I watched. I'm gonna put on the whatever the latest showing of the New Japan tournament is. While in the background while we're talking. But I watched MLW last night. That was a mistake and a half. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. It's rough in those streets.
Almost two mistakes in one, was it?
Oh my god! Is this where you're spending that $20 million that you got from Vince McMahon?
I did not partake in the MLW show last night, but
oh my god,
rousing endorsement, I think I will pass on it.
It's bad. It's just bad. It's like, oh, we're gonna just throw a couple. Why? If you're gonna do a PLE, and this is for any company, make sure the matches are important. It just seemed like a glorified regular TV show. It was not good. Not good at all.
I, on the other hand, this morning when I get up at 7 a.m. for some fucking reason, watched the Stardom 5-star Grand Prix Day 1. Well, my goodness. What a show. Those women know how to fucking wrestle, man. I think, how many ended up in my weekly 1, 2, 3, 4 of the matches ended up in my top 15 for the week. I'd have expanded this week out of 10 because there's just too much going on in most places. But
yeah,
and that's not even. And Anna Jay's match didn't even make it. It was just too short. But she looked really good. She looked really good.
That's how it
Just
goes
her
for
in
you.
general, or she in her outfit, or she actually wrestled good.
No, she wrestled good. She was keeping up. The shots were a bit stiffer than she's probably used to, and that it was just a shorter match.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a ton to it, but she did pick up the win, and she beat the woman that just recently held the second highest title in Stardom.
Nice.
That's big for her first. That's her first match there. So really looking forward.
And that's a big win for her.
It is, yeah.
Well, just going there is a big win, but for me, the thing I'll be looking for is how Tony Khan utilizes her once he gets her back. That's for me. It's that's what I'm looking forward to.
This is another step in her progression.
For her, yeah. I mean, just for her as a character, in general, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Go over there and learn some more. Get up to speed with those ladies. Learn the harder strikes, and she will do that in this tournament because these matches are bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in the span of a month, so she will learn, and she will learn quick. So. But think back 2 years, right? What was she doing, right?
Put her hand in here.
Yeah, she's progressed a lot in 2 years, right? So just keep doing what you're doing. Stay the course. Don't put people where they're not ready to be yet. That applies to every promotion. Don't do that.
Should we start with SmackDown? We'll just go in order, or does that sound good?
Might as well.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Want to cover the in-ring action? That shouldn't take long.
Well, my one thought was we should wait till the end because usually the people that come in later want to talk about WWE. But we'll start with the SmackDown. So overall, I just thought the show was okay. I don't think it was anything great. I mean, besides the return of Roman Reigns. But I don't like our friend Pro Wrestling Bites. Hopefully, or Bits. The Bites or Bits.
This is the backyard.
I'm going with Bites.
What is it, Bits?
I'm going with Bites.
Bites. I think it is Bites. He had the same thing with so it starts off with the show starts off with Cody coming out. He gets interrupted by the Bloodline coming down, which again they're gonna attack them. Whoever's talking, if everyone's talking about, can you guys mute yourself right now? And then from there, it starts with Cody. KO comes in to help Cody with the chair, and then from there, there's some dialogue with Cody and KO in the ring. And pretty much Cody offers KO a spot to fight him at Bash of Berlin, and KO is hesitant about it. I agree with Pro Wrestling Bites. To me, like the storyline for me, it should have been like KO should have been like, yeah, I've been covering your ass for the last year, helping you fight the Bloodline. So of course I haven't been getting what I should have been getting. So like to me, like KO should have had no problem getting this title match. So that's the only thing I don't like about it, because again, when you sacrifice yourself for your friend, I don't think you need to justify why you're getting a title shot, especially when you're in the main event picture. So I agree a lot with his take on that. I don't like the way they set this up. And then again, too, like I don't need to see Cody near the Bloodline right now. Like have Roman Reigns go after them. I would have just preferred they came out at the end of the show. I would have just had Cody doing a promo. Then he asked KO to come out. Like, there's other ways to do this. Overall, I wasn't really happy with the segment. Did you have any thoughts you want to add, Stampede?
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid part two, because they did this with Cody. They did it with Cody coming out of the Rumble.
Yeah.
I won the Rumble, but I don't want this shot.
Yeah.
By the way,
like, why did you win the Rumble in the first place then?
Let him finish his thought, Simon. Then you go Tom.
And then they just took that idea. It's like, well, that went over like gangbusters. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Rinse and repeat. What's up, Simon?
There was something on Twitter before SmackDown other night on Friday that said, when Roman's back, women's wrestling gets cut. Friday night comes, I watch SmackDown, women's wrestling got 2 minutes. Bianca Jade versus Isla, 2 minutes. And then Nia Jax's title celebration got cut and moved to next week. And Bayley were not even on show. And we got a backstage stint with Tiffany lasting 30 seconds. So women got 3 minutes on SmackDown because of Roman Reigns being back. It was exactly as Tweet said the night before it happened.
You know what they got for the weeks, Simon?
Exactly.
When you take Raw into account, they had 300 minutes of TV. The women got 4.3% of it. 4.3.
Wow.
Wow, that's unreal.
Count
Wow.
down last night, right? Going into Collision, women on AEW had 10.5%. That's not counting what they did on Collision last night, because Diana put on quite the banger, but we'll get to that.
How long did Roman's segment go? That's what I'm wondering. How long did his segment get?
It wasn't honestly the one thing I do like about him being a babyface is he moves faster. So it's like he doesn't take 40 minutes to get down to the ring anymore. So that's good. And then when he's fighting, because he's a babyface now, like his like he's a lot faster with his action. So he's fighting like a babyface. So that's the important part of it. But at the same time, like if you would have had KO just come out in the very beginning with Cody wants to fight him. Like, there's so many ways they could have done this, or they would have had more for the women too. It's just the way they start. It's the way they structure the show too. It's just about they have to overkill everything. It's like we don't need this. You could have just had Cody come out, say he wants to open challenge, he wants KO. Do the opposite. I want to thank you for always having my back. I want to give you this match because I know that you haven't been focused on yourself. There's just so many different ways they could have done this to give the women more time. And I agree with you. It's like here, Nia doesn't even get her celebration until next week. Because again, they got to get so much time to Cody and Roman, in the Bloodline. And it's like there's certain, like, it's always in wrestling. Most companies like they always put the women first, and it's like it shouldn't be like that. Like you should put other things first. You had your head up next,
It's
Leonardo.
not just that. I watch for
Oh,
Bailey. I'm a big Bailey fan, and Bailey don't even get on show this week at all. She barely gets
No,
time, not at all. And it's like,
she wasn't even on there. I don't
no,
think.
not at all. And I've got T-shirts at home. I'm a big fan. She wasn't even on show.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I don't think you'll ever see Bailey being women's champion again.
I know.
I think her time's come and
I
gone
know.
because they want to. There's going to be some other Charlotte players coming back. You got your Tiffany's,
Yeah.
you got your Jades, you got your Bianca hasn't been champion for almost a year and a half. So it's like they're gonna. It's just they could have done so. If this was her last straw, they should have done so much more with it. And we already talked about that with Blue in the face. But yeah, she definitely deserves better, especially for being so loyal and always being there and being a company first.
Exactly.
What's up, Leonardo?
yeah. I agree with Simon. I mean, with Stampede over the Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa segment. Like I I like Cody, but he should stay away from the bloodline and let Roman.
Well, then they are. And that's the thing. They are too, and that's the thing. So you brought him out there, and you're not even having him fight the bloodline. So again, it's like why did they could have just done? Again, if they would have structured it differently, there could have been more time for the women.
And,
Because he's fighting KO.
yeah, exactly. So I I would say keep him away from the bloodline and let Roman deal with his cousin who's been out here walking around like he's the tribal chief saying, I'm the captain now. Like what?
Yeah, like the bloodline is
OTC, OG tribal, original tribal chief, OTC.
like,
Yeah.
the bloodline is a self-contained story.
Are you down with OTC? Yeah, you know me. That's the good new song.
I I'm with OTC. I
But they overkill it. They don't, instead of trying to make it more, instead of trying to make it more time more concealed, like instead of trying to let's say we wanted like we say they're trying to take a 30-minute segment and condense it into 15. They stretch it out and beat you over the head with it, and they don't need to do that. Where they have so many other talented wrestlers that deserve TV time.
They'll
There's so
drag
many
out.
more. Yep.
It's like if you're not once the top dog comes back, fuck you guys. And it's like again, if you're about the business too, he should be more of a voice for everybody else too, and be like, let's make sure we're leaving enough time for these guys too. But he's not. He's just greedy with it. He wants all his fucking time, and that's it. He makes Jericho look like an amateur.
At least,
What's up? Go ahead, Sammy.
well, at least Jericho's mocking the whole thing. That's what
Yeah,
that's what the
exactly.
whole character is based on. But
Yeah, Simon, you had your hand up next.
Oh,
Go ahead.
It's weird.
I mean, Wes. Sorry, Wes. One stand for the other.
Oh, fucking. Stampede might like this. Mercedes is a trainer sometimes, but Sidney Bateman made his Ring of Honor debut today.
Hey, I love this pertaining to SmackDown, Wes. Thank you.
Oh, but anyways, Jade Cargill, that 2-minute match with all of her single matches went up to 10 minutes and change out of 4 matches, and the Saraya match that we had on Rampage had more time than that.
But again, but it doesn't good either because how are you so it just tells me that the champions are bullshit champions too because if the one girl can beat her in 2 minutes, then why are you guys why prolong this and why don't just put the belts back on them next week? It's just the whole thing is just doing nothing for anybody's credibility. It's just fucking.
But
stupid.
Don't forget, we've got women's speed title now. Bailey might win women's speed title, guys. Yay!
Oh, that's true.
Yay.
She could be the inaugural speed champion.
Yay.
I forgot about that. Just add that to her cap.
Yay!
But Stampede already said they'll have the timing down for that, so that they'll be able to execute it perfectly.
Yeah.
They might have to stretch them
Right.
out.
As a Bailey fan, I can't wait for that. Can't wait.
And to me, it's like so then the other dude on the show, you're giving 2 of the 4 matches, 2 tag team matches. When one of your tag team champions isn't even on TV right now, so again, just the whole booking of it was dumb to me. I mean, I'm glad to see them. I mean, I'm glad to see them focusing on the tag team division for a week, but I just don't think it's going to last. So for me, it's just like they could have spent a lot more time on other things. Um, but again, for me, it was having Street Profits defeat A Town Down Under, and again, they're prolonging that hill. They're prolonging that in face for Frost in theory, even though he later on asked for a match for Grayson Waller. Um, and then then also too, there's no explanation of what happened to Bobby Lashley. And for me, that's something again where you have this group now, and now it's beef out with the Street Profits. And again, I always call it like Twitter. I always call it WWE amnesia, right? They just want you to take your pill and forget about it. But it's like treat us with some respect and like give an explanation of what happened to Bobby Lashley. But no, now it's just the Street Profits with beef out instead of the Pride.
That's never going to happen.
I know.
I've been waiting for years for them to stop treating me like I'm a fucking idiot. But
yeah,
they continue to do that. So the fans haven't forgotten about Bobby Lashley, that's for sure.
No, exactly.
He was never that good anyway. So right.
Yeah.
Like you see it, like they are the most consistent fan base on the planet. Not in a good way, but they're consistent. So.
But the thing is too. I think the thing is, and the sad thing about this is they know they don't really care, and all they really care about is Roman, and so everything else is just an afterthought. And it's sad. And you shouldn't book like that when you have such a talented roster, and they all deserve the chance to get over. I mean, the perfect example of that is the guy who's in the middle of the show, LA Knight, somebody who got himself over, and it was somebody who just got signed to a new deal, and that wasn't in their plans, But again, if you never know what you have unless you give this talent a chance, and there's a lot of people that are there that want that chance that they were just given. That you never know what you have unless you try, but they don't want to try. And so again, good, they're making a good living, but it could be so much more if they would allow it to be.
Well, the case in point with that, and I know they weren't on SmackDown, or they might have been. I don't know. It's hard to tell because they didn't do anything with them. But Mansoor and Mace, right? They had the gimmick. They just never did anything with them. They never put them in the ring. Never. Like under 5
And they're killing it.
I love X-Men.
Right. And it's a very similar gimmick. There's a little bit more. It's not as comical in that WWE sense, but it still is. Right. There's just a little different twist on it. But they're actually getting in the ring. Like it's a more complete package presentation. That's all they had to do with them there. They would have been over like gangbusters if they did.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But if you don't put people in the ring, you're not going to get them over. Period. Not going to work. So, but 28 minutes of wrestling on a 2-hour show. What are they doing? Really, they're just going through the motions. It seems like.
But yeah, so then we cut a little bit ahead there, but again, that's their segment with Nick Aldis, and again, they convinced Kevin Owens to be a wrestler and want to be champion. Again, good job on that. Like we already talked about, Jade defeat Double Fire in 2 minutes. The main thing about this is you're going to have Naomi come out. So I guess what do they call them again? I forget their name. It's the Big Three. They're back together. But again, it's just doing nothing for nobody. Again, to me, just put the titles on them already. I don't need to see this. I'm just disappointed with everything. Again, congrats for getting the tag team of the women on TV, but you did it in that shit ass bum ass way. What's up, Wes?
Another match for what's it called? Bash at Berlin or something?
Yeah.
Liv Morgan and Dom versus Damian Priest and.
I know. I already know that.
Has that been announced already?
Yeah, they
I already know.
It's kind of like a hidden announcement. It got leaked.
It got leaked
really?
yesterday. It leaked yesterday. Pro Wrestling Insider leaked it. Mike Johnson.
But for me, honestly, that just delays Liv being champion for another month. Honestly, that's all that tells me. I'm sorry, Simon, but that to me just says
Raquel's saving me. Raquel's saving us. Raquel's coming in to help us retain title. She is.
Oh sure.
They uploaded Raquel Rhea on YouTube today. Raquel's teasing
they can put a mount in.
Yeah, she's teasing it. Raquel on socials. She is. Raquel's coming.
You need Raquel.
I don't know about saving people, but yeah, little Raquel.
Yeah, I don't see that working.
Raquel's joining Judgment Day. Raquel's joining Judgment Day. Calling it now.
Bastion Berlin is after All In, correct?
I'm good.
Hold on, guys. Whoever's talking, if you're when you're talking to somebody, just mute yourselves, please.
Bastion Berlin takes place after All In, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
In it, day
So-
after that New Japan show as well. It's Collision on New Japan 30th, then that's 31st, right? And it Bash at Berlin, day after Mercedes in New Japan, I think.
What are you saying, Stampede? They're doing a mixed tag match because the AEW is doing a mixed tag match?
No, I mean they might be,
Oh.
but if that's the reason they're doing it, that'll backfire on them.
No, I think they're just doing it. I think they're just doing it to continue the feud a little bit. But I mean, but again, I don't think Dom and Liv have a puncher's chance against Damian and
Come
Rhea. And I
on!
love Dominic, but yeah.
Liv and Dom are
Capital,
winning. Liv and Dom are winning.
Capital Collision is on the 30th.
Liv and Dom are winning, man.
Capital Collision is the 30th. Bastion Berlin is the 31st.
All right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Wow.
but the problem that they'll run into there, and I kind of mentioned it last night to somebody, like Chris Statlander and Tomohiro Ishii, also known as Big Tom, they are going to get in the ring and they are going to mix it up, is my guess. Because Stat's partner is Stokely. So you are going to see an intergender matchup in its true form in that match. I don't know if you see it in the other one though.
I was also reading Stokely Hathaway. He's been training and stuff too, and he knows how to wrestle. And will this bring up for those mixed tag team titles coming out soon?
I don't
Oh,
want
good Lord. Stop it.
I don't want mixed tag team titles.
Is in a ring with tomorrow Ishii.
We can't get the tag team champions or the continental champions to defend their titles, and we don't need one more non-title. Again, until he can do a better job of defending the titles he has, he needs to quit adding more titles.
Yeah, it's too mixed tag team titles in any promotion is too limited.
It never lasts.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Sounds good on paper, but it doesn't work.
AEW could just have a speed title. They could just bring a speed title, couldn't they? Like WWE. Not.
No, thanks.
I'm
No
being
thanks,
sarcastic.
Simon.
Anyways, back to SmackDown, guys.
No thanks, Simon. No, thank
So
you.
then we got so the next thing we had was LA Knight doing a promo. He's over with the crowd. It was a good thing, but again, that could have been Nia's promo. And you could have saved this for next week. But Santos Escobar comes out. I'm really glad. Again, I believe that's one thing I'm glad about is seeing him get elevated. I mean, and that's what you do with LA Knight, right? If he wants to move up to the championship, if he wants to be considered for the main title, then let me see you lift these other guys up. Let me see you lift the mid card guys up, make Santos, make him more relevant with the crowd, get him over. I like this. I like the feud, and Santos defeats Andrade to become the number one contender for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
That was the part I liked about the show.
Up and coming new star, Santos Escobar. I found that out today.
Yeah. He's a rough but he doesn't wear a mask now, though.
The guy is 40, which was my basic response to this.
That's WWE 20. That's WWE 20 years old.
Yeah, it's like he's 40. He's been wrestling for 24 years. He's held major titles in CML and AAA. And then I got called an Einstein because of it. Like, fuck off.
Oh, Jesus.
So
quit fighting those WWE stand chat room. What did I tell you?
Andrade is returned.
You obviously don't know this, so I just figured I would hear some information for you, so you don't sound fucking stupid.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'll be.
Okay. And then the other match, I think this is the longest match. No, it was like the second longest. Then DIY defeats Pretty Deadly to qualify for the number one contenders match. So it'll be DIY against the Street Profits. And the only thing I think about this is that if the DIY goes and fights the Bloodline and then Roman costs the tag titles, which I'd be pissed about, because why'd you take them off in the first place? But again, the matches just really did nothing for me. I mean, again, I guess I'm glad to see them care about the tag division for 1 week, but I just don't think it's not going to carry on. And so it's just kind of like a waste of TV time for me. But at the same time, when you got people that are there just to watch the main event, then it kind of makes sense that you try to get other people over. Any thoughts about that before we get to the main event, Stampede?
You know what got the most chatter out of this show, outside of Roman, of course? A dark match. A match that doesn't even
Living-
fucking count, that they don't
Yeah.
even recognize, got the most chatter that I seen, which was Kairi Sane pinning Liv Morgan. Don't get upset, Simon.
No!
It's a dark match. It doesn't even fucking count.
I know it don't. It don't count. It don't count.
But that got more, chatter on Twitter or X or whatever. Than
Well, of
anything else
course.
that's gone outside of Roman.
Liv's a megastar. She's women's wrestler at year.
Oh yeah, because of Liv. Yeah,
Women's
that's-
wrestler at year. Best
I
wrestler.
was thinking of you. I was thinking of you today, Simon, when I was watching that Stardom show. Yeah. It's like, wow, if they sent Liv over here, she would have a hard time keeping up.
She'd get all 5-star matches. Get all 5-star matches.
Oh damn.
Best wrestler.
She would have a hard time keeping up, Simon.
She'd show them
Guys,
how it's done.
Mr.
Show them
C,
how it's done.
Mr. CEO, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
So what do you think about the Speed Women's Champions?
Fucking stupid. Just as stupid as the men's. I'd want to be equal to both genders.
Who do we
Stupid for
think?
one, and it's stupid for the other.
Who do we think is gonna become the first ever champion?
I have no idea.
Probably Zelina Vega.
I put about as much thought into that as the length of one of their matches.
I think Tegan Knox. Tegan Knox would be my guess.
The Queen of
I mean,
Catering.
honestly, the thing they should do is it should be Zelina because I would say because she's very to me like when they're doing this because again they're for X and the shows are on X. Give it to somebody who's very active on the platform, right? So that would mean to me Zelina Vega makes the most sense.
I like it.
And
Where's this girl? Where's this girl?
if we want to be positive about this whole thing, they could actually defend that speed title like on a Raw or a SmackDown because
There's your women's mid card title.
That's about the length of the matches anyway. In some cases, so yeah.
And then, but to be positive, like you just said, if they did that, then that gives them an excuse to only do a 3-minute match. So it's a win-win,
They won't do that.
We asked for a mid-card women's champion and they gave us that.
What was that?
We asked for a mid-card women's champion and they gave us a speed champion.
But the speed champion could be the mid card. I mean, that's what fans want. They want to utilize it, to be a mid card championship. So the main event we had is the Bloodline. So the new Bloodline or Bloodline Chimu. So it's solo with Tonga Lao and Tonga Low and Tama Tonga in the ring. So Jacob Fatu selling his injury. He's not there, and pretty much Solo's talking about it. He's the he's the tribal chief, and Roman's not supposed to be there, and that he if you want, and pretty much they're trying to get the K Jewelers sponsorship because it's the battle of the bracelet on Raw and it's the battle of the necklace on SmackDown. So so they're definitely trying to get that K Jewelry sponsorship. But that's basically what it comes down to. So if you want to come get it, and so then here comes Roman Reigns. And again, he's over. The thing I do appreciate about this is that he does get to the ring a lot faster, and he kicks ass. I mean, so pretty much the thing about that I saw from this is you had one guy, Roman Reigns, defeat 3 members of the Bloodline. So for me as a wrestler, as a wrestling fan, why do I need to see Kevin Owens and why do I need to see Sami Zayn and Jey Uso return and all the other guys if Roman could defeat them by himself minus Jacob Fatu. So it doesn't make sense you're gonna have Roman beat up 3 guys, but storyline wise you're gonna try to sell me that these other 2 guys that are in their own place need to come over from Raw to SmackDown in order to help Roman when Roman's ready to beat all 3 guys by himself. It just to me makes no sense to me. And it just doesn't. And again, they're gonna have to sell me on this because I'm not interested in it because again, I don't believe these other guys can stand up to Roman. So why do I need to see gang warfare when Roman's already beat them all by himself? Thoughts on that, Stampede?
Well, yeah, Roman's moving faster, which is good.
Yeah,
because he was to the point of essentially walking backwards. He was that slow getting to the ring. The only thing is, where he's going to be faced now, he can't hide as many limitations as he has in the ring as he could when he was a heel. Because of the constant interference and everything else. That masked a lot of things. I'm not saying Roman is bad, right? He's just very basic in the ring. Like, he doesn't have a large repertoire of things that he does. So he's going to have to rely on those things a lot more now than he did over the last, what, 4.5 years. So, but I'm with Carlos. I have next to no interest in the bloodline. So I just hope whatever story they're telling that it's a coherent one, and they just follow the continuity with it and do that, and fine. But and don't have it dominate the majority of your 2-hour show on Friday. Like you have you have a roster there. Use it. You didn't
And the
last
could
time.
they could put Bailey on show as well. It'd be nice to get Bailey on show. Just saying.
But
Well,
again, like they're act, but that's again where as a fan you gotta like sometimes recognize like their actions speak for themselves, right? So again, you don't have the women's champion on TV no more. It's like so she disappears. So like how much of a priority really is women's wrestling? How much do you really care about your account when you can't even let her come on and talk about what she felt like losing the title or come out and like
well,
she's not even a priority to book on the show anymore. And it's just
now in Paul's defense, he did say that he views the women's roster in the exact same light that he views the men. Paul wouldn't lie.
That's a
So,
big lie. That's a big lie.
yes, he already has
well,
a big nose. He needs to watch himself.
fucking Papa knows, man.
That man is
Papa,
a liar.
Papa Pinocchio knows.
Wes, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it came out this week, and Bailey didn't like how the damage control thing came out, and it was supposed to elevate all the women with tag titles or a championship for Dakota Kai and all that stuff. Then also she's came out too. She said she might bring back the hug gimmick. She was on an interview.
I thought she said
So,
they were. I thought she said they were dead and buried.
No,
uh,
they're dead, and rightfully so.
No, she
They
said they're
should.
dead. Yeah.
Yeah, they're dead, and they
well,
should stay
Uh,
wherever
well,
they're dead.
honestly, that's where Triple H made the fault with Bailey's championship reign. Was drafting damage control to Raw. I felt like the person and the only right person to dethrone Bailey was Dakota Kai.
It'd be nice if she just got TV time for a start, and she signed a 5-year deal there till 2029. She's tied to send down now. There's no way out.
But
She's not get
but it's but
TV
it's but it's
time.
but it's because they didn't want to move Jade over there to Sniper and move Bianca because they're trying to keep the Street Profits probably with Bobby Lashley who ended up leaving anyway. So it's like they try to. It's like I respect them for trying to keep the couples together, but at the same time just move people over. So it's like they had to move someone. They needed this Raw women's roster was so small, and so they had to move over damage control. But like you said, they didn't really get to finish the storyline. It's unfortunate.
They should have got it. They should have got the full circle, where it begins at SummerSlam and where it ends at SummerSlam.
For sure, I agree. And now they're lost because 2 weeks ago they were heels and now they're baby faces with no explanation why either. So
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. Like that's, and again, they don't
Honestly,
question. Daddy knows best. That's pretty much.
honestly, let me spill the tea. Triple H don't give a fuck about that women's division. He
He
honestly
cares
don't.
about Liv. Cares about Liv. Cares about Liv.
Oh,
That's why.
stop it!
they
The problem with Bailey's reign is they obviously knew they were putting the title on her come WrestleMania because they write this stuff, but
yeah.
they just forgot to write anything for after WrestleMania for her to do.
and that
Like,
championship
there was nothing there waiting for her to do
and that
after she
championship
left.
reign was absolutely not it. Absolutely not.
They even cut the Dakota Kai match last Monday too. Like,
She was
Well,
Yeah.
injured.
no, they
Where
had it.
she's injured.
Someone took the
She
She's
spot.
injured.
oh,
She's
she
she's
got
injured.
actually injured. Oh,
Yeah, she's
yeah
off
she got
TV
hurt.
like Seth. They're both
Yeah,
on.
she
Honestly,
got hurt when
Dakota Kai, Dakota Kai, and Cora Jade are the two unluckiest wrestlers in WWE right now.
But I mean, that's part of it too.
Dakota.
If they're injured, if someone's injury prone, you can't necessarily trust them to be champion either, and that's part of and that's part of being injured though too, and it's unfortunate. Um, but
Dakota,
they
I just don't think they view her in that light. They didn't in NXT, so why would they on the main roster?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Dakota should have just
I'm back,
went
fellas.
ahead with her plan.
Hey, Leonardo.
Dakota Kai would. should have went back with her plan and went to Stardom instead of returning to WWE.
But
Well,
again, it's like they all came back because they thought Triple H was going to book the women's division better, and when he got power, they were they you know they they were
they got
Nick. First, really quick, Nick, you don't need to be nervous at all. We're not going to judge. Anyone's opinion here is welcome. So don't be afraid. Just raise your hand when you want to talk. But I don't. But again, to me like they all joined because they thought they were going to get Triple H from NXT, and it hasn't been the case. And it's been Triple H pretty much carrying Vince McMahon's legacy, and it's not good. And it could be so much better. These women, when you book women's wrestling properly, when you book tag team wrestling properly, it can carry your show. And it's unfortunate that we don't get better.
well,
Honestly, back in 2022, everyone was like, "Yeah, WWE is so bad. Triple H is so bad. WWE is gonna be so good." And I'm also say this. This is the only time that I'm gonna say this. But WWE right now is overrated. The shows are unwatchable. Outside of maybe a few things, like 80% of the show is not watchable.
Triple H had too much power.
Too much power.
Yep, it goes straight to his head.
But you're right. But at the same time, but that's just it. When everyone's calling him Book Papa H, and he can't do the wrong. But that's the thing. But at the same time, and it goes to all their heads. But I agree. It could be so much better, and it's just not. But again, it's because fans gotta want more. Like just because we have Roman back and he's gonna come out and be there, that shouldn't be enough for SmackDown, but it is. And but you guys gotta realize the thing with WWE right now, and it goes with everything. Every time they have a PLE or event, what do you guys hear? The biggest show of the year, the gouging ticket prices. The biggest skate they've had. So until fans want to change the narrative and quit spending their money with them, it's not going to change, guys. And again, I won't support it. I've already said that they won't get my money anytime soon just because of their business ethics and because of their again. I'm not going to trust. I'm not going to trust to go to a show and then I'm going to get bamboozled and only get 20 minutes of ring action. No, thank you.
Well,
so
I'll
leading,
I
leading,
completely
leading up to
agree.
SmackDown,
yeah.
leading up to SmackDown, how many times did you see Friday Night Reigns?
All the time. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what they do is they don't want it to change. That's the thing. Like they want it all about one thing or one person or one faction, right? That's Monday Night Rollins, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing, right? They want it revolving around one person, and the rest of the roster they could give a fuck. From what I see, anyway, what I hear,
Do you
just
remember Austin
it's an
Theory?
odd way to it's an odd fandom.
Do you remember Austin Theory meant to turn babyface as well, and they've just forgot about it, kept him
No,
in a
he
tag
is.
team?
They went back to it this week because I forget who Grayson Waller is fighting next week, but it was pretty much someone needed. I think it's Kevin Owens. Yeah, Kevin Owens.
Oh,
So they had a backstage statement where they're talking to Nick Aldis. Then Nick Aldis says something about Kevin Owens, and Theory goes, Grayson Waller should have fight him next week, and then you can see Austin Theory kind of smirk. So they are going back to it, but again. But does anybody here want to see Austin Theory as a babyface? I don't.
No,
I don't care.
Absolutely
No,
not. I think this
exactly.
will lead. I think this will lead to Austin 3 being released. At the end of it, is because
Yep.
nobody wants to
It's
see
not going
that.
to work. I agree with that too. Yep.
and Austin
Well,
Theory, his win against John Cena did nothing for him at WrestleMania.
Just like Solo Sikoa, that was a big win. Look what John Cena did for him too, and sold for him, and it
You
did
know,
nothing. And they didn't do nothing with it.
Austin's theory, I saw so much potential in him, but the way that they're booking him is the way it's clear that they will release him sooner than later.
yeah, they've never figured out how to book him
No,
ever, and I don't get it. He's got a
he
good look, really good in the ring, right?
yes,
He
I
can
mean,
get it going.
look what he did for Jelly Roll. People were sitting there saying Jelly Roll should have a match, and it's like it was not Jelly Roll. It was Austin Theory jumping up in the air and selling for him. But that's like fans are like, oh, Jelly Roll, like dude, it was not Jelly Roll that did that. That was Austin Theory. Come on.
and I will say this, WWE would have been way better if the fans were like the AEW fans, where they bully Tony Khan into making him book the division better. It would have been actually good, but people are here are lying that the show of WWE are good when they're actually not good.
Thank you
But
very
but
much
but
for saying
but, but
that
the
because
thing is, for
I
go ahead.
completely agree. The shows are not good.
I mean, here's the thing, guys, and I'll tell you this, and this is how you got to watch WWE. And the thing is, take it with a grain of salt. But for them, this is how I look at it. They're already getting $1 billion from each company to put TV on. In their mind, like you're getting it for free on TV. Be careful that you're going to watch it. That's their attitude. Like they already got their bag with their television rights deals and everything else. Their attitude is like, we need you, but just be careful that you're going to watch the show. And that's just it. They're never going to be wrong, but at the same time, it's like people want to go, so it's like they can't. You can't tell them they're wrong when they keep breaking box offices and money. So until that changes, nothing's going to change, unfortunately.
Yeah, what I don't like is these
Yeah,
YouTubers on YouTube telling WWE everything they do is great.
Yeah, when actually 80% of the things that they do is horrible. 80% of the things that they do is horrible. And like I'm gonna take an example of Cody Rhodes. Look at the Cody Rhodes Championship reign. Or we can look at Cody Rhodes in WWE in general. Outside of the Roman Reigns story, everyone that Cody Rhodes face is not about elevating Cody Rhodes, it's about rebuilding the person that he is facing.
Exactly, I
We can
completely agree.
we can look at with Kevin Owens. He was practically begging Kevin Owens to take the title shot, and it won't elevate his title win. It will elevate Kevin Owens in coming back, but it won't elevate Cody Rhodes in any mean or any levels.
Yeah, see, that's what I didn't get. Why did Cody just hand Kevin Owens the title match? That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
He was begging Kevin Owens to face him for the championship, and I'm like, bro, is Kevin Owens the champion? You're the champion. People should be begging you.
Yeah,
And we
maybe
were talking,
they're
but
exactly
it's just the way they
yeah.
sold it. If Cody would have said, "I want to thank you for having my back. I know that you sacrificed your own push and your own agenda to help me with the bloodline." They could have just done it in a million other ways that would have made it make more sense.
Yeah,
But they got to do it. But they had to make sure Solo came out
Mm-hmm.
first, and they have to get the bloodline on TV. Where it should have just been about Kenny. Should have just been about Cody and Kevin, and Cody thanking him for having his back and being like, I want to thank you for having my back again. I know that you are capable of being champion, but you've had to put your own push on the line to have my back. And at the next PLE, I want to give you what you rightfully deserve. And they could have saved 10 minutes for the women's matches, and it could have been a lot. And they could have, again, but it's just the way they want to do it because they think everybody wants to see the bloodline. They got to do this. So they got to have it on there. Any more
exactly.
Yeah,
discussion about WWE? Let's finish it up in the next 10 minutes or so. Then we're gonna move on to AEW.
Exactly, they could have done things way better, you know. And basically, the Cody and the Solo match at SummerSlam was set up because Romans was returning. It was not set up because they wanted to elevate Cody's championship reign. That's something that actually is crazy. It's because they have built this man so long up for this championship reign to be a flop.
But remember, guys, it wasn't supposed to be Cody as champion either. It was supposed to be either it was
Yeah,
supposed to be Roman keeping it, or it was supposed to be The Rock's giving it up. So, but at the same time, at the same time, they're just showing they didn't really have plans for this. And
yeah.
again, it's
And
like they could have been some of the other big contenders, but it just wasn't a good one. So you're gonna present AJ Styles as a legitimate contender, but then you're not gonna put him on TV after that. They don't do a good way of making it seem prestigious because the person who they end up beating, you never see them on TV again either. So it's just the way that they do it all together.
yeah,
yeah,
but
You
guys,
saw
if you noticed at the end of the show, they made the tag team champions look like fools.
Yep. Wes, you had your hand up. But guys, if we start getting talking over too much, we're going to just ask that you guys raise your hand. And if you don't know how to do that, if you hit the little heart button on the bottom of the screen on the right hand side, it has a hand. And you hit that when you want to talk. But just if we guys start over talking over too much, we're going to ask that you guys raise your hands, please. Go ahead, Wes.
Do you guys see Dragon Lee leaving next year? I heard his contract is up in 2025.
maybe.
Yes,
It would make sense, yeah,
I would if I
But
was
because they
him.
haven't done, they
but
haven't done anything.
then he would have to start in CMLL again. It's because the way that he left AEW. Absolutely, I don't see AEW taking
But
him
you,
back.
but you guys, you got to remember though too. There's it's if you and me and Stampy were around during Monday Night Wars. It's different. If Tony Khan goes and signs him to AEW and utilizes him the way he should be utilized, and then that shows again that's a feather in his cap. So I wouldn't say that that's going to be the case. If Tony Khan signs him, like you're going to see him do with Ricochet and utilizes him the way that he should be utilized, and lets them cook, then there's that, if Tony's not gonna criticize. He's not gonna punish somebody like that if he
He
thinks he can use it.
Tony
No,
Tony won't cut his nose off to spite his own
no,
face for Dragon
exactly.
League.
No.
He
You
knows
know,
he knows the kind of talent that he is.
And his brother works. His brother works for Tony too.
And Rush works there too.
Yeah.
Right? But if you fast forward to 2025, which is fast approaching, right? It's not that far away. Ring of Honor is going to be on some sort of network somewhere, and Dragon Lee has a history with Ring of Honor.
You know,
That's an easy connection to make.
I could see AEW turning Ring of Honor into AEW Ring of Honor. That would be the best for business.
Because the way they're kind of constructing that roster right now, he would
Yeah.
fit in there quite well.
And also like
today, I haven't seen it yet. I just had someone sent me something on it. But Beast Mortos was facing Mark Briscoe for the title, right?
Yes.
Mortos was getting cheered louder, from what I was told,
wow.
than Mark fucking Briscoe.
He was.
Do you know how over you have to be cheered more than Mark Briscoe in Ring of Honor?
That's pretty huge.
But that just shows because they've been doing a residency, and he's been wrestling in front of those fans every week, and he's earned their respect. And so that just goes to show you, if you give somebody the right time, if you let them show the fans what they can do, the fans will love them. And that right there just shows that's pro wrestling. Like you win fans.
You know,
yeah. And you get them and pick up and allow. You're going to get some wins here. People are going to see you getting these wins. They're going to notice that, and then along that little journey, if you do eat a loss, well, fine, you ate a loss because you had already built up enough wins anyway. So it's not this devastating, you're now buried narrative that people push. Right? So
honestly,
it's not a difficult process to do.
this tour of Collision and Ring of Honor has been a huge success. I want AEW needs to do one before the year's end, another one. You know, it's been a huge success.
I want to ask you. I want to ask the room this: Would you guys support seeing AEW get a cruiserweight title?
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
No.
yes.
No.
No, I don't think they need one.
No.
I do. I would. I would. I think if they did it where they had all in Collision, and you had guys like you had like a, like that's where you had your holograms. I think it would be really fun.
A
They booked
cruiserweight
it.
championship for Ring of Honor when Ring of Honor becomes a independent branch, could work,
Yeah, but you could run like the ROH TV title. You could run that essentially as your cruiserweight title.
Oh yes, definitely.
Atlantis Jr. has it now, right? So it kind of functions like that anyway.
I
You
don't.
get the world title there. You have the pure title, which is completely different than anything else. And then you run your TV title as kind of that intermediate cruiserweight kind of deal. But it's already in place if they want to run it that way.
Definitely.
The only titles I would add there, and they have to do it when they're ready, but I don't think they're far off from it, would be women's tags. But
Oh yes.
you would have that AEW Ring of Honor Women's Tag Team Champions, and they could be defended wherever.
They should just call them
I absolutely agree.
World Women's Tag Team Champions and have them go everywhere.
No. Listen.
Have it so
Listen, if Ring of Honor becomes AW development brand, I want to see one just for Ring of Honor. The reason why is because that's a development brand, and when they come to the main brand, a talent, they need to fight for something new. And if they defend them across all three shows, they wouldn't fight for something new. So I think
well.
Ring of Honor should have their own, and Collision and Dynamite should have one.
But they Ring of Honor already has the World Women's Television title, so you don't need too many secondary titles.
No, but you can always unify a few titles, maybe the Ring of Honor Television and the Ring of Honor Pure
No, I
Champion.
don't think we need to unify any more titles.
You know.
And I would shy away from calling Ring of Honor developmental because that puts a stigma to it that you don't want. I think from what I can see, what he seems to be doing is trying to get Ring of Honor back towards what Ring of Honor was. Right? You're going to get people coming in from all over the place that are going to visit New Japan, CMLL, the indies. You're going to have your set roster there and run it that way. Like that's what it was before. Right? That's not developmental. If you look at the people that are on there now, they're not developmental wrestlers.
I honestly think that Tony is basically, if he takes Rampage away and adds another hour to Dynamite, and then keeps Collision, I think if he does the brand of AEW Ring of Honor, I believe I think is that he's going to make that into kind of like an NXT type
Yes.
roster, and then also
Yeah,
people forget to remember that Tony did mention about the women's, tag team mixed titles or trios titles. He wants to kind of do something different. I know I've spoken out many times about having AEW women's tag titles, and he has liked a lot of my comments and stuff. But I think for the interview that was mentioned was he would kind of wanted to shy away from that and make it kind of a different type of, I guess, a mixed tag to a trios. So I'm still trying to push for the AEW women's tag titles because I believe um, there's a lot of opportunities there for the women in the Ring of Honor, and and those that are not being used. And he's known. I spoke about it many times towards him, um, and he understands because again, I've addressed it many times. He's liked my tweets and stuff like that. So, but I think honestly. We got to remember that AEW is not trying to be another WWE. So again, for people to kind of compare it and be like, oh, they should do this because WWE. No, that's not. That's what Tony's trying to shy away from. Is not another WWE type promotion that he's trying to do. He's trying to mix it up, the AEW promotion with the kind of ECW type vibe with professional wrestling.
And you don't want to call it
and
developmental
even
either when he's utilizing the guys
no,
from CMLL over there in New Japan Pro, because then it's going to make them sound lesser than too. So you got to really be careful with the wording.
yeah, you don't
I
want to
I
attach that term to it because that's not what it's going to be. It'll be its own thing, right? But attaching the AEW name to it, right, is the same as what they did with NXT. If you bring up any NXT show, like on anywhere, WWE is attached to it. WWE
Correct.
slash NXT, right? They're always attached to each other, right? So doing that, it double brands it essentially. That's fine. I think as far as how it will run, it'll run more like a Black and Gold NXT, not
Yeah.
whatever it morphed
yep.
into.
Yep. Yeah.
But that wasn't developmental, even though it was referred to as developmental. Because if you
I
think
think
back to
I think Ring of Honor will become NXT Black and Gold 2.0, exactly like NXT Black and Gold is gonna be booked.
Is it
the only
is
difference
Mark
is Black and
is
Gold they
Mark
refer to it
Briscoe's
as
endgame?
developmental.
Is Mark
A
Briscoe's
developmental
endgame?
brand that had Samoa Joe, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Oscar, Sky. That wasn't development. Keith Lee. That wasn't developmental. That
Yeah,
was the third thing.
I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be booked exactly like that.
It is Mark Briscoe's endgame Adam Cole? Is Adam Cole off to beat Mark Briscoe for ROH World Title? Is that where it's
I don't
heading?
think
Is Adam Cole coming back?
I don't think so.
Do you think Stampede Adam Cole's coming back?
I mean, you could say never. I mean, look, we have Sammy Guevara in ROH now, so who knows?
But that makes sense. Sammy's from Texas. They're doing a residency in Texas. And they got him paired up with Dustin from Texas and the Von Erichs from Texas. If you wanna if you wanna get Sammy off to a hot start,
I
you're
mean,
gonna
and
face
there's
Cole,
nothing, yeah,
that's how you do it.
and there's nothing wrong with Adam Cole going to Ring of Honor if he's going to be utilized there. Because I mean, again, are you? I mean, now that you got people like Okada and you got MJF back, and you got your Ospreys. Are you going to put Adam Cole as world champion over those guys? No. And then you got Jay White in the mix too. It's like they got so many other guys. If Tony wants to go there and put him as Ring of Honor champion, and utilize him as a world champion there, then that's a better spot for him than floating in the mid card in AEW, in my opinion.
And Adam has a long history
And he
with
can
Ring
still
of Honor.
wrestle, and he can still wrestle on AEW television.
Yeah, and you're right.
Well, it's not
Adam
like
does have a
Japan is.
long history with ROH.
And to me,
Yeah,
it would
so
do better. It would
it
do
makes
better for
sense.
the kingdom. It would be better for the kingdom to Undisputed Kingdom to. They need to dominate somewhere, so have them go dominate Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Like where do you think NXT got the Undisputed Era from? Ring of Honor.
Exactly.
Right. Where they lifted it from.
And I mean, in the same time, guys, look at the roster Tony Khan has. He has so many wrestlers that are signed, he's paying money out to. If he can book Ring of Honor and get the brand to be a profitable brand and have it and make it make it worth something more. And when you already have the talent to do it, why not go for it? That's just smart business.
Yeah. And like they brought everybody knows Mina's Shirakawa's back for a month. She did a match in Ring of Honor. She got Taya Valkyrie. Apparently, I haven't seen it. It's not aired yet. Apparently, that match was quite good, so they're heating up Taya. Taya is perfectly suited for Ring of Honor, right?
But again, she's a good wrestler,
Except
but
for
they're
the
not going to utilize her. They're
roster
going to use her on AEW. Utilize her there.
Right. If it's a little too stacked over here, we're going to put you over here.
I mean, it's just like you got to just like what he's doing for the win, right? Because he's doing that with what's the woman's what's her name? The women's champion over there. Having a brain fart real quick.
Athena.
Yeah, Athena, right? He can't utilize. He doesn't have a spot to utilize on the AEW roster, so he's not going to take the title off her because she's better utilized there. So mirror what you're doing with the women with what you're doing with the men. So if you can't utilize them all, go utilize them over there, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's because
and that
because I
Athena
think
is
this Ring of Honor
probably going
brand
to lead
literally
to
elevated Athena.
to great heights. Like, yeah, and more than likely she's going to drop that title to Billy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
final
that's where
battle.
they're headed. Billy's gonna take the title from Athena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once that happens, right, then that could jettison.
Then we can get Mercedes versus
Athena.
Athena. Then.
Mercedes will be
Mercedes
done
versus
whatever
Athena.
program she's going to be going into by then. So you could go into that program. I mean, you could.
My dream match.
But it just opens up those doors. Right?
What's up, Wes? You have your hand up. Thanks for raising your hand. Go Esther next.
Okay. Hey, Nick Bell, get on or Instagram right now because Mina is live. So
Yeah, I just saw that.
then also to Stampede, CMLL, are they doing like a what is it, like a Grand Prix 2 or something? Or they're doing like a block thing? So it's like for like 2 nights.
Claudio's entered.
And Mansoor.
And that goes back to what me and Carlos were talking about partnerships, right? Like, this is how you do partnerships. Claudio is a big name that they're sending over, right? Like that's Stardom and AEW. You're not using Nina for the next month? No, she's not in the She's not in the 5-star. Okay, how about we send Anna Jay over and you send Nina over here? Done. Both places benefit from this, and both wrestlers benefit.
Yeah, because Mina says she's living
Yep.
in
I like the way
Texas
they
right
do the
now.
partnership.
I like it.
Yeah,
You know, I
which would make
think
sense because she was in Ring. She was on a Honor show, which is from Arlington.
this needs to become a yearly tradition for AEW, CMLL, and New Japan to send wrestlers over. It's because a New Japan wrestler was in the Owen Hart. Yeah, Takeshita is in the G1. Energy is in the one of Stardom. Mansoor Monsua and Kyle Fletcher, they are in the CMLL one.
Yeah. Oh, and Takeshita's killing it, man.
I hope this becomes
He
a
hasn't
yearly
punched his ticket to
tradition.
the 23 yet. But, well, they had Eddie over there last year. Like Eddie was in the G1. Eddie won the Strong title. So that was Moxley held literally the top title in New Japan. So they go back and forth quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
But this Stardom relationship they got, that is going to do absolute wonders for that women's division. Like you have no idea. Like, the more they integrate that, that's going to be a gold mine for both places. It's going to get Stardom more eyes on them for over here, and the talent on the AEW roster with the women, they're going to learn so much from that Stardom.
Where do you see Ty Conti going with Sammy
Really,
in
really
Ring of
good.
Honor? Do you see?
You'll see it. It'll happen like over the next few months, 2 years.
Do you see
But
Ty Conti going to
it's
Ring
fun
of
to
Honor?
watch.
Do you see Ty going to Ring of Honor where
Why
Sammy's all
not? Why
back?
not? Of course, why not? What is she going to do in AEW? Of course, why not go over there?
It's
Yeah,
because
good
I
point.
think I see some people saying she need to be back in the tag team, but I think when she return, Anna Jay will be miles ahead of her. You know, I don't think her and Anna Jay are gonna be on the same level anymore. So I think Ring of Honor will be a perfect restart
Well,
for her.
but that's again, if they would make a good tag team. But again, if you have the women's tag titles and they're on both
Yeah,
brands, and they can both be
KJ.
on different
Yeah,
brands.
KJ.
But they'd be perfect. But then again, if you're gonna do tag team, if you're gonna do tag titles, they should be one of the top teams to be considered to win those titles. And I would
Yeah,
bring the bunny, back to be with Penelope too,
I
if
will
she
put
wants to come
Sky
back.
Blue and Penelope Ford.
What about Sky
Renegade
Blue and
Twins.
what about Sky Blue and
I think
Julia?
Julia needs to go for a singles championship, maybe.
Renegade Twins.
Well, it
Yeah, the
all depends though. You
Renegade.
That
got
is
if there's
another
a
one I would
but
send.
here's the thing about I think they should utilize tag teams more. And this is like what WWE should do better. Like when you have the women that you can't have everybody going in the main event program, then that's what you utilize them as a tag team. And that's something that WWE is not doing right. And again, but that's something I fully think Tony could get down. It's like when you can't have somebody in the main title picture, you utilize them in the tag team division and help them get over their partner. You know, like that's the perfect way to utilize your roster.
Yeah,
There's only so many main event programs.
Another one I would send over to Stardom. Sky Blue would be
Y-
one I would send over Stardom for a tour to
yeah. I think the
when
next
she gets back.
three that they need to send to Stardom is Amanada, Red Velvet, and Billy Starks.
Well, there goes your
Well,
Ring of Honor.
Almanada
There goes Ring
looks
of
like she
Honor.
was in
You have
Stardom
defense of them
already.
all.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. No, you can't send them all at once. You want to send this person over and then do that, and then. But Queen Amanada, she wrestles that style anyway. Like if you watch her, like the first time I seen her, it's like, hey, were you in Stardom? I had to go look. I didn't see her over there, but that's what she wrestles like. She wrestles that style and that speed already. So
What do you all think of Layla Gray's new gimmick with Top Flight as an Aerostess? What do you think of her future potential?
Well, I still right now
I
they need that's too much. It's too. If you're gonna put her with Top Flight, get rid of Leo Rush. Like it's too convoluted right now. Like let her be the mouthpiece. Get rid of Leo Rush. It's just I like it, but that they need to fine tune it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the faith they don't got the faith in her just yet.
Repeat that one more time.
The faith, the belief that they need to have in her, I don't think that it's there yet. You know.
With Layla Gray, well, she just got there. But at the same time, why put her there if you're not going to trust her? Like if you're going to put her in that role, you've had her signed for a long time. She's been doing great work in OVW.
yeah,
Just there's just too much. There's too much going on. Just get Leo Rush away from those guys. I was glad to see Action Andrade with them back yesterday because I feel like he was getting the short shaft of the stick. But like they should have been there. They could have just when they announced the match for next week. They should have just had Tony Khan telling what's her face in her headset and her earpiece instead of Leo Rush coming out. They didn't have Leo Rush. Let those guys go over on their own. Having Leo Rush there to try to steal the spotlight is not going to do any of them any good.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that these three men, they got together again. I think they need to win the Ring of Honor six-man tag team champion to try
Oh, they should have
something
been.
out.
I agree. They should have been the trios champions a year ago. Mike.
We don't
Well,
need
so
a bill
this,
first.
yeah. Stampede, you want to take over the AEW part? Go ahead.
Huh?
Stampede, are you there?
Stampede.
Uh, what happened, Stampede?
He's dropped. He's dropped
All
us.
right. He's, are you there, Stampede? Might need to come
You
back in or come
there?
back out.
Oh my.
All right, so
Can't hear you. Sir.
they'll come back. But so, do you have anything you guys want to talk about as far as Rampage goes? To me, it was just kind of a. I do like that they used Soraya on that show, and her getting the win over Nyla Rose was a big win for her.
Well,
That's
Yeah,
like
I thought
that's the Soraya show, and I like how they do that.
what was
Speak,
that
I
spot
speak,
call
I
out they did?
I
Huh?
speak.
I enjoyed Soraya I enjoy Soraya on Rampage.
It's her show, man. I love it.
What was that spot call
I
out that
love
they
it.
did?
I love
Say
it.
it, Wes.
What was that spot call out that they did with Harley Cameron? She was calling out like her old finisher or something, the
I
Rampage.
forget
Or
what that effort was called. Yeah.
I thought that was funny too.
But she's I love her. They've really grown on me. Again, they be somebody too that I would consider for the tag team tag team champions. But it was just really good.
Hey,
You know, my only other complaint for that is to me Rocky Romero. If he's gonna be a heel in CMLL, then he needs to be a heel in AEW too. Because like last week you had him out there with MJF and the Mexican flag or American flag, I'm sorry, and then he's being the ultra heel, and now he's back on AEW TV being a babyface. For
You
me, like
know,
just
Speaking,
have it be one or the other.
you know,
speaking,
something that I'm also excited something that also say EW made a bad decision doing that is not turning Saraya face again after the outcast broke away. I feel like Saraya has always been more likable as a baby face, you know. Her heel character is just not working for me right now.
uh, what do
Well, I
you
mean, if
I
they,
I I beg to differ.
I love her as a heel
yeah,
personally
heel.
Yeah, yeah, she's a lot better as a heel.
because
But
she plays a spoiled bitch as a heel, and she plays like she's getting her way with Tony Khan, and she plays it up very well.
but
I like
look,
her as a heel.
look, her baby face feud with Britt was far way better than anything she did in AEW. And I feel like her AEW Men's World Championship face run would have been way better than the heel championship run.
I don't mean I respect her opinion. I honestly think that I think she barely just started coming to her own in AEW because I feel at first she felt like she had something to prove, and I feel like the way fans shit on her got on her. I think it hurt her feelings. I think she was trying too hard, and I honestly feel like she's finally coming into her own now in AEW, and I think she's more comfortable doing that as a heel. Just my opinion, and I just think with her brother and Harley Cameron. And I think that's the big thing too, having her brother there with her. I don't see her wanting to turn babyface anytime soon.
Hey Carlos, so do you see a open challenge for her for All In? Will that be either Jamie Hayter or Rebecca Quinn?
Becky Lynch has not joined AEW. She's not. It's not happening.
So you're
Not
making Simon's
happening.
head blow up.
I think they're trying to get this free agent thing where Becky Lynch get more money, but I don't think AEW is buying it that she's leaving WWE.
She's
That's
not.
why she didn't make headline like how Mercedes made headline, how Okada made headline. That's why she didn't make that headline is because I don't think AEW is believing that she's leaving WWE.
Never say never, bro. Look at John Moxley,
That's
Maybe,
different.
Anna
Yep.
Copeland.
Never say never, man.
but I don't see AEW buying that story. Tony, especially Tony, Khan, I don't see him buying that story.
Do a
Hey,
poll then. Who in this chat
eh,
believes Becky's staying with WWE or off to AEW? I believe WWE. What do you all think?
WWE.
AEW. Go around. What do you all think? Becky, where's she going?
I think she's staying in WWE.
I think
Anybody?
AEW. Tony Khan probably offered her a bunch of money.
WWE.
I mean, I would love to see her come to AEW if I'm being honest. I think it would be good for the wrestling business.
yeah,
If she
yeah.
came there.
Yeah. That's a
Same,
good point.
same,
Good
same
point.
here. Same here.
But as far as what you're asking us, I don't to me like I just wish they would I just wish they would do a women's casino gauntlet match because for me too like I think what's her name I think so many women deserve to be on that show like man, I'm having a brain fart here. Like Sheeta deserves to be on the show instead of having a fight on Wednesday. Like I think all these different women. Like I'd rather be seeing a women's gauntlet match
Okay.
than seeing Willow Nightingale and Chris Ellender in a
Okay.
mixed tag. I just think I wish personally they were doing the women's casino gauntlet match.
Yeah, I had a
It is
question about
cool.
that Cheetah match. Did you want proper build for this, or was it cool with you that's going to be hot
Listen,
shot? And also, do you think this will lead to a no DQ with DMD to make
listen,
the match longer or the
listen.
feud longer?
I think this match is the right decision. The reason why is because Shida is clearly 1000% turning heel, and how are we gonna have heel versus heel?
So you think it's going to be a no DQ with like DMD
No,
coming out
I
like a
think
Yeah,
I think she doesn't. I think here's you got to remember who was in Mercedes' corner.
Camille?
Exactly.
Camille.
So Camille helps Mercedes win, and it's not a clean finish. That protects Sheeta. That's wrestling 101. So
Yeah.
as long as Camille is helping Mercedes beat Sheeta, then I have no problem with this because eventually Sheeta can challenge Mercedes again. You know.
Hmm.
And have a proper feud, but I also think, like Stampede was saying, is in the room. Yeah, like we said in the chat yesterday, like if you look at Sheeta, she comes back just for a month or so, then she goes break. But right now, with how she's being utilized in AEW, and I don't know if it's her or Tony Khan, but this is kind of her role now. I mean, look at Nyla Rose is a former world champion too, and she's barely on TV. At least she is getting on television. But for now, if all she can do is come back for a month and do that, then she should. Then I have a problem with her coming in. And then she's credible, right? So if you beat her, it looks like a big deal. So having her come in and and putting over Mercedes, I don't think that's a bad thing because she already lost to Britt, so why not lose to Mercedes too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is clearly indicating that she's turning heel. It's because losing to Mercedes. I think the next match of her maybe in Cardiff or maybe after Cardiff. I think the candlestick will be coming into use and she will finally turn heel in that match.
But I think you have it right too. I think this is foreshadowing her turning to a heel exactly.
And her turning to heel, maybe she's challenging maybe Mariah May or maybe Mercedes. Who knows? Maybe at a big pay per view.
Leonardo, that's your cue. Your girl, right, mate?
Now, what was that, Mr. CEO? Repeat that
Hey, you guys,
again.
really quick, is it showing Stampede in the room to you guys on your guys' list? Is it showing Stampede in the room?
Yeah, he was waving
Yeah,
his
Yeah,
hand
he,
high. He
yeah,
was waving his hand
Okay,
he's
all
high.
right,
there.
yeah, he
okay,
was waving his hand.
okay. It doesn't say anybody's waiting to get in or anything, does it? Like anyone's waiting to speak or anything? Okay, just making sure. All right,
Yeah, but he's okay.
okay.
Now, Mr. CEO, what were you saying?
Yeah,
What were you saying earlier?
I was basically saying that after the heel turn, maybe we can get her versus Mariah or her versus Mercedes has a big pay per view.
I think she's facing Mercedes again
Yeah,
Probably.
after after she turns heel. You
I
know,
think two.
cause,
I
cause,
think two people are turning heel after all in Brit and Shida.
I think Britt's.
I
I,
think
I
Brit is
think I think
working on
Britt's. I think
JD.
Britt's going to WWE when her contract's up.
Absolutely not.
We'll see.
I think that's a good shout. I think that's a good shout.
now
I
why
don't
would
see.
why
I,
would
I
she,
don't. I
why
don't see
would she
Brit
go over
leaving.
there anyway? I don't
I
understand.
I don't see
To
Brit
make
leaving.
up,
Tony Khan
man.
loves that woman way too much.
If she's not happy with the way, if she's not happy with the things that go in there, or she's getting suspended, and she feels like she doesn't have a say anymore. If she feels like she's losing her spot, why wouldn't she possibly leave?
Man, man, does this woman have an ego problem
Yeah,
or she
Yeah,
or this
duh.
or or,
Simon, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. You see when you're
or
injured,
this
and you see when you're someone like Brit, you left on bad terms. So I'm not bad terms with the company, but your last match wasn't that good. You're not gonna automatically come back and take over the division like how you left it. They hired many more people, and they hired many more people that have experience more than you, or bigger store more than you. People like Dion Apparazzo, people like Mercedes Monet. They hired higher
Camille,
ups than you. Camille.
Mariah May.
Yeah,
yep.
they hire more people with experience that can wrestle more than Brit. You know, she should not expect to come back and be the face of the division,
But I think it's too.
Brill try
But
good
go ahead,
looking.
Nasty
She'll
Leroy. Nasty Leroy has his hand up. Go ahead, Nasty Leroy.
especially
Hold on,
if they have
Mr.
to
CEO.
choose between Brit and
CEO,
someone.
you need to let other people talk, please. All right, let Leroy has his hand up. Let him talk.
Yeah,
Uh,
Go ahead, Leroy.
Go
I
ahead, Leroy.
just like to say that on the the thing of a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. I would like to see Ring of Honor be have a residency in Atlanta. I think it would be really good to see it on the center stage. Uh, I just think it would be a good move. Texas is good and it's a good wrestling city, especially Dallas. I'm definitely being a heel there and wrestling and managing there. They get into it, but I think if they're going to start doing residency and start doing multiple tapings at places, I think they should be like a taping at the center stage, which people can come and see it every show we can run, and then and then with the culture thing. But that's all. I'm just saying.
We're in Atlanta, you said?
Yeah, Atlanta, you center stage,
Yeah, I
and
think I
you
should. I think they should do. I think they should go. I think they should do. I think they should do like every month. I think they should do one like go from Atlanta to back, go to Daly's place one month, go to New York with the like where they used to do Monday Night
yep,
Raw, and then go and then those four places rotate back and forth. I think would be perfect.
yep, of a good crowd
Yeah,
too.
and
So
then that way, because you're circulating. And then I would have mean honestly, I would have mind doing one on the West Coast. At least one two, but just rotating into, and then you're letting your independent talent get into. I think it would make all the sense in the world to me. And if you do it once, if you're rotating it there, then it's going to keep the crowds hot too.
How about the ballroom spot?
Yeah, Hammerstein Ballroom. Yeah,
Emerson.
yeah.
That where ECW was?
No,
Yeah,
they wrestled there a couple times. They did the ECW arena, which is pretty near Philadelphia. But they did do Hammerstein a couple times.
ECW's last pay per view at Hammerstein, and they had one night stands both at Hammerstein Ballroom as well. About 0506.
But if they take the Ring of Honor once a month, and then they're doing like we talked about this last time, if they're doing a morning and an evening taping, they could do a whole month's worth of shows in one weekend. And then they're not going to fly the talent, pay for crazy hotel costs. Like they could easily do it if they want to make it a priority.
Honestly, that I don't want it. I don't want it like that. The reason why, that's my opinion, is because we can look at TNA. TNA is going not doing anything good. It's because the things are actually predictable. Everyone sees the results before the actual show. I think we should do live shows here and like make it more a little bit excitement, create a little bit more excitement there. It's because I think pre-tape shows just like they give it away before the actual show happens.
I agreed. I mean, and I would have a problem there if they did it like like where they do one live and one tape. That makes it. But again, for me, it's Tony Khan's money too. So again, as a fan,
Yeah.
if it comes down to me having a program and it comes down to where the wrestlers again, there's more better paying jobs for talent. If there's gonna be an extra show on TV that people get to enjoy, then I'm willing to be okay with that. Again, I'll read spoilers and I'll
Yeah.
still watch the show. But if it means more talents on TV and we're getting another TV show and it's going to be accessible to everybody, then again you got to take that as a win. Go ahead,
Did
Wes.
you all
Yeah.
think? Yeah,
So, what
go
did you
on.
guys think of AEW or that Overdrive show with the Bears going at it against the people? I thought that was pretty cool.
That's not AEW show. That's a Wannabe Brothers show and AEW wrestler appearing on it.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean I tried to watch it.
Did you all hear today with some big news? Brock in UK, Dynamite Kid signed with AEW. It Brock over here today in What Culture. He signed with AEW's Dynamite Kid. He signed with him. He's
Yeah,
all
I saw
elite.
that.
Hey
Yeah, Dynamite
Wes, I just
Kid's
somebody
all
who is a
elite.
co-host. Can you see if you can if you see a thing to accept that thing, and can you see if you see Stampede trying to get back in because on my end it's showing that he's in here, but he's saying that he's trying to get back in the room.
He's on my feed. He's appearing on my feed,
Okay,
Carlos. It's on
all right.
Everyone that has been following me for months now know that I've been pushing for that to happen, for Dynamite Kid to
Dynamite.
get signed.
Yay, UK. UK. Yeah, that's good for us.
So, what am I to do? Try to invite him again?
Yeah, do you see? Does it show him in the room? Does it say he's requesting to come in, or was it saying to you?
It
It
just
just
says
says he's a.
Cohen.
It just says he's a
Okay, I'm
co-host.
gonna. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, let me try this. Hold on.
No, now I'm a
Yeah,
co-host.
you're co-host. That's fine.
We've got technical difficulty.
Yeah, we're trying to get our boy back in here.
Oh,
Here we go.
Leonardo,
Got it. Okay, got it.
I've sent you a live thing in your direct messages if you want to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'll
heard a
check it later. I'll check it
Are you
later,
back,
Simon.
Stampede?
Yeah.
Stampede is
All right,
back.
there we
He's
go.
in editing
All right,
right now. It's
we're gonna have
Ah,
to
he,
go through this.
he's back. He's back.
I was in here. I could hear you
But
talking.
it was
Like,
because it was telling me that somebody was trying to get in the room, but it wasn't showing anything. So then finally, when I dropped you as co-host, it let you back. Showed it finally because I even left and came back in, trying to see if I could get it, and it wasn't. It still wasn't. It still just had you listed as co-host.
Wes is still co-host.
That's
Wes
fine.
is now co-host.
hey,
Let's
hey,
go.
congratulations on the
We're going to
promotion,
hell in a
Wes.
handbasket. This is now become the Mercedes Monet
hey,
appreciation.
I, I would like to be a co-host one day.
One day,
hey,
when
Stampede, I had a
when your
question
check
for you,
clears,
real quick. What do you
Wes,
think of all the What do you think of all this backlash with Dynamite Kid getting signed and people
he's
are
good.
freaking out with the roster, but when WWE signed people, they're like up in
Wes,
arms.
if it's WWE fans freaking out, then don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, just ignore the smart
Honestly,
hire.
that
It's
Dynamite
it's
Kid
just
getting signed is a
it's
huge W because he is just 23 years old and he is that good. I think it is with a couple of years, he is one of the future of AEW.
Stampede, do you think he appears at All In 2 weeks at Wembley? Do you think Dynamite appears with his three Bulldogs? British Bulldogs.
I don't think he gets on Wembley. You might see him on Zero Hour, or you might see him
Yeah.
on like the Rev Pro show, like in Cardiff or the Copper Box or something. I could definitely see him there.
Well,
Do
they
you
just
think?
He
And
will
after that,
appear. I think he will
Mm,
appear.
AEW.
they just announced on that Casino Gauntlet that they're going to be having crazy people in it. It came out today, so you might see
Dynamite.
him and all that.
Crazy people, like
Not crazy
crazy.
people, like just
So like Crazy Steve.
eh.
Nah,
Rosemary, PCL.
So
nah,
Crazy
nah.
Steve, then we'll dust off the missing
Doink
link.
the clown's coming back.
Yeah,
Well, I
Doink
meant like
Doink is going to be a
unique
yeah.
roster people, I guess, probably from UK and stuff.
I think, and also I think maybe Dynamite Kid will help FTR
He'll
win the
be
tag
nice.
team champion. Maybe
Well, the gauntlet could be a Michael Oku appearance too, right?
Hmm.
that man needs a haircut.
I was thinking all the United Kingdom, including Bobby Lashley, or not Bobby Lashley, Fish.
Oh no, he's an LW. He's okay. He can stay there.
Yeah,
Let him stay there.
Michael Oko or whatever his name is, he needs a haircut
he keeps wrestling
because
the way
if
he
he
does.
showed
You know,
up on television with
Oh
that
my
hair,
god!
if Michael Oku keeps wrestling the
Wow!
way Michael Oku wrestles, he can have whatever
Yeah,
hairstyle he wants.
exactly.
Did
What
you
do you
all
think of
see
it?
MJ? Did you all see MJF wrestle in my own country tonight, UK? Did you all see MJF wrestle in
He was
Redfern?
I didn't see it yet, no, but I got it ordered. I just haven't had a chance to get to it yet.
Yeah.
he was
Will
wearing Hulk
Osprey
Hogan gear.
appeared? Osprey were there as well. Will Osprey appeared?
That'll probably be, I would say, tomorrow night's viewing would be my guess.
Mm.
He wore Hulk Hogan's gear on Hulk Hogan's birthday and sang the Hulk
MJF
Hogan
What?
did.
music.
MJF
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
It's one way to get
I have
eat.
today for the first time I watched a whole Ref Pro wrestling card, and I enjoyed it. I think Ref Pro is one of the indie companies that need to
Thank
get a
you.
TV deal.
Yeah. Oh, it is enjoyable. I don't see a lot of them. The ones that I do, I enjoyed all of them that I've seen. They're
Yeah.
harder to get, like as far as like streaming and stuff, but they're not as readily available.
And
But
honestly,
something.
I don't know what TNA is doing, but Danny Lunar, she was on the card today.
Yeah,
TNA should absolutely make her their world champion. I don't know why they're wasting her in the tag team division, but that woman is a killer.
Who?
Danny Luna.
What's her name? Danny Lunar.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
That woman, I absolutely love her. She just needs a breakout match, maybe her versus Mercedes, and AEW or WWE will grab her.
Campy, take
believe
over AEW. Let's talk about it. Collision.
they had a show last night.
Yep,
Fantastic.
Yep.
it was
They
fun.
had it
Yeah,
was a fun show last night.
was yeah.
One of the best collision.
Darby and Hologram had a good little match with the premier athletes. Hologram is really good.
And one thing that I saw is Tony Khan is high on hologram.
He's
Oh
wanted
yeah,
that character
it
for
was his
Oh,
creation.
oh, it's not just them. It's not just hologram. It's the outrunners as well.
It's the
yeah.
Hologunners.
The Outrunners.
That
I know that the match you referred to there, Leonardo, the one with FTR. That
yep.
reminded me. I'm old enough to remember this, but that match
Mama,
reminded.
you heading
It
out now?
took me
All
back
right,
to like
Mama.
1985 NWA. That's what it was. That's what it was like. That the Outrunners are that type of character and that type of tag team. It's like they were
And
plucked
then
from the
FTR is old
original.
school too, so it totally
Yeah,
has that vibe.
yeah,
Sorry about that, guys.
yeah. The
Honestly,
FTR is
honestly, AEW should book collision like this. So when I say like this, I say a mini, like a soft brand split. When you appear on AEW Dynamite, you don't appear anymore on collision. I love like how they're balancing that.
Well, I like what he's doing now, and the thing that he's doing now is that he's utilizing the Ring of Honor guys on Collision, especially if they continue to film some stuff with there. Like to me, to me that makes sense. Like I like the way he's booking it right now a lot.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been doing that for a minute though, because he did that
Yeah.
with the infantry and Iron Savages and the rest of the tag teams and the Workhorsemen.
The
Where did the
Workhorsemen.
Outrunners come from?
They're from OVW, Ohio Valley
Yeah,
Wrestling.
OVW. That's the last talent that they ever really produced and put behind. Other than
And you see
that, they
what
don't know how to make
OVW
good
did?
talent decisions.
They're
There
running
we
a
go.
6,000 people venue.
But the great thing about that tag team match too, and I guarantee you this is what the case was, is you had FTR wanting to put over the Outrunners yesterday, and they've done that with so many teams. And again, that's just a credit to who FTR is. Like you just knew they wanted to give them that match and give them a chance to shine. That was the best tag match they've had in
well,
AEW by far,
they
at the
did it.
I
longest.
agree.
FTR has done it twice now.
Yep,
Did it once with MXM, right?
yep,
Get him in the ring, get him in a match that people are going to see. People are going to watch FTR and show people what these two guys can do. And they
yep.
did, and it worked.
Exactly.
And they also did it with the Acclaim. They put when the Acclaim were tag champions, they put them over too.
Exactly. And the Outrunners, like I knew who they were. I wasn't really familiar with them as far as their in-ring stuff goes. I knew what the character was. This was my first real, like, good exposure to them to see, okay, what do you guys got? Like, what do you bring to the table in the ring? And I got a chance to get a good long look at it last night, and I was impressed with what I saw. So
I mean, I got Cash Wheeler posing for me. I was happy yesterday. I was a happy guy.
yeah, so
What was
like
that whole?
like
Because
like that match was a win, all
Oh
around
yeah,
for what
but
it did.
again, it's just FTR. Again, it's just what they wanted to do for those guys. They had the pull of Tony Khan, getting them a proper tag team match. That was just really cool to see. I was really excited for that. And again,
That match was so good. It was like 80s style.
oh yeah,
Yeah, like I said, it took me back to like
and
'85
the
NWA.
little vignette they
What
did
reminded me
before,
of
like the little like the video, that was spooky. That was
that was
spooky.
'80s.
That was spooky videotape girl done correctly. It's like having that was a total
Yeah,
'80s video. It was great. If
Absolutely.
you
that
guys
was
if you guys don't usually watch the Hey AEWs that they do every week, go watch someone with the Outrunners. It's great. It's really really good.
but an act like that will work.
Yep.
But you got to get them in the ring to make it work. You just can't have them hanging around backstage and doing little skits.
But also
Got
let him
one.
get over. I mean, they've been used mostly to put other people over. So giving them a proper chance to actually get some offense in and actually having a two-segment match did them a world of wonder. And again, that was because FTR they politic for that match in a proper way. It was really good. Go ahead, Leroy. You got your hand up.
Oh, I just want to say that On top of that, Matt's like that's what happens when you and like if anybody complains about how you don't they don't build people or they don't have one thing I get irritated with and like, not upset but I just get irritated with people like oh they don't know how to build people or whatever. They literally gave him like all you have to really do is give him one tank run, one vignette, and be like, yeah, this is the outrun. This is what we do. This is what we do. Hey, this is the infantry. This is what we do. Show them in that vignette on collision. And like people be like, oh, they gotta be on dynamite. They gotta be on dynamite. No, they don't. They gotta be on one of the national TV shows.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be the I don't like to be the person that argues with people or complain about shit. But like I be telling
That's my
people,
job. That's
I,
my job, Leroy.
yeah, that's your job. I'll
That's it. That's gimmick infringement, babe. That's his gimmick. You better watch it,
Yeah,
bud.
yeah. So
yeah. I will sue your ass.
yeah, so I just like they'd be like, oh, they don't know it. And this is how I know like when somebody doesn't watch AEW or any other programming other than if you're watching what the Bloodline's doing. No disrespect to the Bloodline, but it's like, right? If I told you, and I was like, oh, you should check out the infantry. Oh, you should check out the Outrunners. Check out the War Horsemen. I don't know them teams. They don't be building people up on AEW. Bro, you don't watch AEW. They literally just on a Titantron. Gavin got in there, and like FTR was like, "Yeah, we gonna put you over because we like you, and you have the same fundamentals that we do. You're very old school, very '80s. You come from that used to be play. Let me not bury that brother. You come from a place that are known, that's known back in the day, but your place is OVW. But even as you've been on AEW and stuff, putting people over, doing the job, doing the work." Put in the work. I think it was just like after you saw that, they were like, man, these motherfuckers always here, and they like when you're in wrestling school, they always say maximize the minutes, right? The outlaw or outrunners be maximizing their minutes every time they're on TV, no matter what
Yep.
Mhm.
second they got. So they
Yep.
was like,
Yep.
you know, I'm
Cocaine's a
sure
wonderful
Dax was
drug.
like with the
Just kidding.
yeah, I'm sure Dax with the Tony was like, hey man, we got to give him an actual tag match,
Yeah, I
like
guarantee it
show
was.
him
I
out.
guarantee it was Dax doing it. I guarantee you, 100%.
Yeah, being a good brother and
And
be
you
like,
hear
hey,
and you hear
so
Dax when he grabs the mic, he'll say it a lot, right? I love professional wrestling. It shows when he does stuff like this.
Yeah, and
Yep.
then people complain on Twitter when he does I love professional wrestling. What, the guy loves professional wrestling, so what?
hmm
The people complaining about that
You know,
don't love professional wrestling.
you
They
know,
love something
people that
else.
complain that AEW is not watchable, and I clearly see that these people don't watch AEW. Finish of them
It's
all.
because the sports entertainment fans, the sports entertainment fans. That's what they've been.
And like,
Yeah,
and like,
that's a different.
I just saw a tweet where someone said, no, I'm gonna ask this question. In you guys' opinion, did AEW fumble Ricky Starks?
No.
No.
Yes.
fumble,
No,
fumble.
No,
they
He
they
they
gave
No.
didn't fumble.
they gave him they gave him quite a few opportunities, and they made him look quite good.
in my
Like that stuff that he
opinion,
did with Danielson, they gave him a tag team run. They were going to do something with Punk
Do
with
we
him.
They
actually
get.
know the reason why he's not on TV?
Yeah,
It
because
turned
he
down.
refused. He turned down a
Go
thing,
on.
and I think Tony Khan's following him as far as if I was Tony Khan, I would be using him on TV to put other people over. I mean, that's the one thing I would be doing where he doesn't want to give TV time to somebody who's leaving. I would do the opposite, and I'd be utilizing him to put other people over. So that's the one thing where I think he's fumbling the bag. If he wants to leave, that's fine. But if you're going to leave, you're going to do business on the way out. That's where I would. That's what I would do. I'd be utilizing the put people over. So I think you're fumbling the bag there. But I think he's giving Ricky pretty every opportunity. But again, if Ricky wants to go, he wants to go. But I think he's
He,
being misutilized as far as I'd be utilizing right now to put people over.
his
I
best
kind of
friend
listen,
like
with
disagree
Cody.
with that. I kind of disagree with that. I think Tony, what he's doing is great, not putting people on TV, those that want to leave AEW, only because like why even push them? Even regardless if they're trying to put people over, I would never put anybody on television. I let their contract expire and let them move on because again, Ricky Starks from the beginning wanted to go with Cody. He's been at backstage at WWE many times, so again I think what Tony's doing is good. And the same thing
Hold
with the
on.
Lucha Brothers. You know, if they want to leave, then they don't need to be on TV.
Because the thing the risk you run there, and this is going back a fair bit, but if people know he's leaving, and I'm 95% convinced he is, and if he wants to go, good luck. You know, I hope it works
Ca-
out for you. You
Carlos,
you had you had you did a lot of good stuff in AEW. You're very talented, Ricky. You're great on the mic. You got a good look. You're pretty decent in the ring.
He,
All the
he,
best to you, man.
he
But
seemed good.
but if people know that and say, okay, this guy's leaving, it'll be similar to I think it was Brock and Goldberg. Remember the match they had and everybody knew they were leaving? That got fucking
Oh
booed.
fuck yeah, WrestleMania 20.
Right. So you run that risk, right? Same with Penta and Ray, right? So I would just like listen, if you're leaving, your contract is up on this date. We kind of know when the Lucha Brothers are. That's coming up pretty soon. Ricky, we don't know.
The
listen,
If Ricky's fairly soon, just say to him and say, listen, we'll just run this out. If you want to go, go.
main roster or
listen.
NXT? Where do you see him going? Main roster or NXT? Which
NXT.
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 If he was smart, he would go to NXT. Because
In my opinion,
he, he would get
um
used there. And he
I
would get TV time and he would get in ring time.
hmm
I think Ricky Stark from built himself. You see, when Tony Khan wanted to turn him the full babyface, you should have accepted it and not decline it. You know, it's because that's exactly what is messing these people up is they're declining the creative control and saying it won't work. And I think something that Tony Khan definitely needs to do, these AW wrestlers should not go on WWE backstage. It's because WWE don't give a fuck. They're contract tempering and they don't give a fuck about it.
Well, they definitely contract him. That's
Exactly.
a
I've
hobby.
been saying that for months.
A hobby.
Wes had your hand up next. Go ahead, Wes. Then Leroy.
We're talking about ROH, so they're having
Oh,
Lee.
hey,
What's his
buddy.
name? Lee Johnson now with the Judge.
Yeah, I seen that. That is a very interesting pairing that I can't wait to see.
I think Tony Khan need to stop letting these AW wrestler appear backstage or even maybe going to the shows. It's because WWE is clearly contract tampering with these wrestlers and Tony Khan I think he knows about it. It's because the same happened with CM Punk. When he went to the WWE show, he started acting weird.
CM
You
Punk's
remember Punk's
always been
promo?
weird. CM Punk's always been weird.
Yeah. Funny you should say that. Funny you should say that, Simon. Does everybody remember CM Punk's promo with MJF?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, night two, 5 for 1.
Go,
Yes. Sorry.
yeah.
go, and see if the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Main event night, right? Night two
Two
of a buy
discount
one
season.
get
Buy one, give
one.
them 5. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
No.
We've
Absolutely
seen
not.
that, right? Like Cody got pushed to the moon, but like people are bailing on him left and right now, especially now that Roman got back. But he still got pushed very heavily, right? But Andrade didn't. He
Oh,
went back. Right?
So that's my
You know,
example. People think yeah when we leave AEW WWE is not Andrade made a mistake. He made a huge mistake. Leaving when AEW was about to push him, that is where he made a mistake. And right now
I
he's in
completely
WWE
agree.
and right
who
now he's in
Andrade?
WWE doing 5 minute matches.
But he wants to be with his wife. That's all he. But
Well,
again, if he left to go be with his wife, then he's fine with his decision.
And Andrade went to be with Charlotte.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly,
forget that.
guys. He went to go be with
My
Charlotte.
bad.
Well, that's understandable. I understand that.
You
Yeah.
But
had you had
like
mommy
in
at
some cases,
Forbidden Door.
in some cases it's worked. Like Ethan Page, so far has worked, right? Lexus King hasn't,
No.
right?
Sean
Sean
Spear has
Sean
him.
Spears is Sean Spears is finding some success, but they're in NXT. That's a different animal than
how do you think
TNA.
Jade's done? How do you think Jade's done?
But guys,
Getting pushed.
before we jump into more questions, let the people who have their hands up talk, please. Leroy, you were next. Leroy. All right, Nick, go ahead.
What are we thinking about the Lucha Brothers in WWE?
Good move.
Same thing. If they think the grass is green on their side, then then that's fine. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be used properly. But at the
Yeah,
same
I
time,
don't.
then they're not being used properly in AEW either because I don't like the
Ca-
way he's booking the tag team
Ca-
division. So
Carlos,
And have
you know
you
what
seen
my
have
you
you
know what my
seen the
mom used to
names that they
tell
One
picked
me
at a
for
when I
the
was
time,
one
younger.
at
guys.
a time.
One at a time, guys.
You know what my mom used to tell me when I was younger?
Huh.
You're gonna run for the rain and you're gonna end up in the sea.
But at the same time, you guys, like, there's nothing wrong. Like if the Lucha Brothers have always had this dream to work in AEW, to work for WWE, like a lot of these guys, their biggest dream is to try to go to WrestleMania. I'm not going to fault somebody for following their dreams, but at the same time, I think Tony Khan did treated them very well. He let them go work for Conan, and I think Conan's the one behind a lot of this. So while I do believe that they want to go for WWE, I think that they're just being jaded for Conan. And again, good luck to them, but I don't think they're not going to make a difference. They're not going to change the way they book. They're going to sell a
I'm
lot of
I,
masks, and they might get that WrestleMania moment, but it's not going to be for anything. For anything, so they're not going to be match of the year in a steel cage, on the biggest review of the year like they were in AEW. Like that's by far one of my favorite matches in AEW, and they're not going to ever be allowed to cook like that in WWE.
I saw their future this weekend. I was wearing my LWO t-shirt. That's where they're going to LWO. I was wearing it this weekend.
And then has LWO even been on TV in the last 3 weeks? So again, good. Where's
No.
again?
Oh
No, exactly.
Jesus
So
Christ!
Dragon Lee, who we mentioned earlier, is another
yeah,
one,
I
right?
mean, his six pack's looking good.
He,
LWO.
I like that, but but that's about it. Dragon Lee's been
you know,
utilized. He's been at the gym.
like Dragon Lee, when he went there, was wrapped up like a present with a nice little bow on it that said, "Your next Rey Mysterio."
Yep.
And they somehow, I don't know how, they managed to fuck that up because that's not what they've done, like in any aspect. So I don't know what to do with that.
Dragon
But his contract is coming up end of this year,
false
early 25.
promises.
So I can see him departing. But
for me honestly, I think how the WWE has two tag team division. That's why people think the tag team is booked better on the WWE side, but absolutely not. The Lucha Brothers, you hear of LWO? They're gonna be in LW in a couple of
Yep.
months.
Yep. Got t-shirt. What?
The only thing I'm looking forward to is if they possibly get a working contract with a worker AAA, but I don't see that happening. Leroy, are you
I
back?
don't see it. I don't see it happening.
I think we should
Me
go to
neither.
hands
All
that are
right.
waiting.
Leroy's not speaking, so I think Nick, Justin, else to add. Are you okay?
I also have another question. Where the fuck is Stephanie McCure?
She's coming.
At home,
he's coming.
she's at home.
NXT, she'll be there soon.
For
I
me,
think
listen,
they're,
listen,
they're
and
probably waiting
this
till after Julie is free and clear of Marigold, which is in another week.
this is my problem with WWE. Honestly, this is my problem with WWE. They took her off the indie scene early to do basically nothing with her. They could have let her finish her dates.
But at the same time, though,
That
she
was
could have said no. She could have said, you know what, I need to finish my dates first. I want to do business the right way. So again, shame on them and shame on her too. So again, so she could have easily stood her ground too, but she wanted to go. So
I
as much
have
as
a
I blame them,
rebuttal.
I blame her as well.
I have a
you have
rebuttal
to
to
look.
that statement.
You have to look at where she was booked.
Can we go to hands, please?
Yes.
I
She was
think
booked.
this is all Triple H being Big Nose McGee doing some kind of
Yeah, it's abusing the power, making somebody do something that
yep.
they should, making them do bad business. Exactly. Wes, you had your
I
hand up
don't.
next. Go ahead.
That's
I
that's the
Oh, and
problem
wait,
in.
Mr. CEO, please let other people have their hands up talk first, okay? Then we can always go back to you. Wes, go
I
ahead.
I had what came out today. Daniel Garcia is still up in the air on his contract, and he's still looking at
Good
WWE.
luck.
Then also I see Stephanie and Julia showing up when that CW thing hits.
Yeah, it would make all the sense in the world. Then Slater, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
First of all, thank y'all for letting me in the
You're
space.
welcome.
My man's later.
Carlos. Listen, Stephanie, the hater, what's going on, baby? How we
Hey,
doing this evening?
we are doing
Fresh from
fine.
Florida,
Stay.
hanging out with my mom for the rest of the month. How you
Oh,
guys doing? Hey,
you're there for the whole
listen,
month. That's awesome.
I'm down here. Yeah, I'm down here for the whole month. I say no to the Lucha Brothers. Okay, I love the Lucha Brothers, but I say no to them in the WWE. Okay, I
Just
say
say
no.
no.
I say no like I say no like anchovies on a pizza. Okay, I say no like I don't know. Yeah, I just say like a blind porno. Okay, no,
Well,
no, no, no,
if you don't
no.
put the little mark on top of the L, they're not going to understand. So sorry, they're going to say yes.
If you put the one on top of the other.
You got to punctuate it properly for Spanish. So if you just put NL without the mark on top, they're not going to understand you. So they're going to say, okay, never mind.
And can we in WWE can we go back to vignettes? I need vignettes. I haven't had a good vignette
Oh,
since
you
prime
want
time.
less wrestling time? Okay, thanks. You
What?
want
What?
less wrestling time, more vignettes? Okay.
No, I didn't
Jesus,
say. I didn't say.
Jesus,
Come on,
Slater.
Carlos.
Slater, if they put any less wrestling time on
I
your
know,
wrestling show,
Jesus.
it'll essentially be a Jerry Springer show.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Yeah, Stampede Hazer, you. I just haven't seen a good vignette since prime time. That's all I'm saying.
They
Give me
do
a
ones on
vignette.
NXT all the time that are really good.
No, they're not. No, the last one I saw on NXT was out the mud, and out the mud was
You just
trash.
made
Out the
you
mud
just
is
made
trash.
Jeremy Borash's heart hurt wherever Jeremy Borash is at right now, and he doesn't know why because he's got plenty of good vignettes on NXT.
What? Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah,
Thanks, Slater.
thanks for
Who
having
was
me up in this
next?
space, brother.
Leonardo J. Random next. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking about the Lucha Brothers, right?
Lucha
Yes.
Brothers, vignettes, prime time, whatever you want. I mean, it's pretty much dealer's choice right now. Go ahead.
Okay,
Don't make fun of crime time, you son of a you son of a b. Don't make fun of crime time.
okay, okay. As far as the Lucha Brothers go, you know, I do not see them, I do not see them doing well in WWE unless they're able to go to AAA.
Agreed.
That's the one part I
Uh,
said. Now, if this means that AAA is going to be working with WWE, and if they are that gateway to get that accomplished, and that happens, then I'm all for that. But even if it happens, I guarantee you they're only going to go down there once or twice a year. So it's because it's not going to be like this open relationship. Because even like that was the one thing I noticed when I was watching MLW
see,
yesterday. Is that they're
see,
not
and
MLW is not working. MLW is not working with AAA anymore either. So we're going to see MLO now. So AAA is not working with anybody right now. So if WWE was to work with them, it'd make all the sense in the world.
see, and here's the other thing that kind of makes my blood boil a little bit.
Besides your medication, go ahead.
Don't do that to me, Carlos. Come on. But here's the other thing. Why is Conan so happy and mocking and actually mocking Tony Khan that he got one over on them because the Lucha Brothers are heading to WWE? If I
because
was
because because there's 100 times that Conan asked Tony Khan for something, and Tony Khan said yes 90 times out of 100. But Conan's mad for the 10 times he said no, and he didn't get his way, and so he's mad at Tony Khan, and so he's bitter, and because Tony Khan made the right wrestling choice, and he chose to go with CMLL that fits their style a lot more than staying with AAA, which fits the WWE style. So he's just mad at Tony Khan because Tony Khan made business choices
oh
that don't favor
oh
Conan.
oh okay, he's just a
He's
mal
he's
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 he's just
jaded
he
wrestler. Yeah,
he's just a mad Coco Pelao. Okay, got it.
exactly. Bingo. Yep.
And as far as Ricky Starks go, as far as Ricky Starks goes, AEW gave him a lot of opportunities, but the moment Cody Rhodes go to WWE, he changes his mind. Nah, bro, I do appreciate his work. I do appreciate the work that he's put in. But bro, just because your best friend's on the other company does not mean that you have to go over there because you don't
Exactly.
know. because you don't know how the WWE is going to treat you. That's that's the issue. That's the
You'll
problem
find out.
there.
But that's why
You'll,
again, like what I was saying before, like the reason that's part of the reason why I would be putting it on TV too right now because if WWE doesn't work out, which I don't think it's going to for Ricky Starks, like
Of
then if he
course
wants to come
not.
back, then if he wants to come back to AEW in 3 years from now, then if I'm Tony Khan, and look back and go, well, when I wanted you to do business on the way out, did you do it correctly? That's why you do things like, in my opinion, you ask him to work on TV still and put people over because if it so happens that the things change, and again, that's the wrestling business, then I want to make sure that you want to come back and still do business with me again. So that's why, because again, it's not. But again, let these guys go. I mean, again, we don't work. If we work at one job, if I work at Target, I cannot go to Walmart if I wanted to. Like that's business. Like I'm not going to be
Oh,
mad at
oh,
these guys for going somewhere else and trying to see other things. But at the same time, like you got to make sure that they're doing business right on the way out, and you got to make sure they're going to want to do business right if they come back in. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. But you guys got to remember, for a lot of these guys, WWE's been their dream, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I do hate it because again, when Ricky Starks had no money and he was broke, Tony Khan gave him a job and gave him an opportunity, and now it's like thanks for not. And the same thing with the Lucha Brothers. Denise Salcedo was talking about it. Those guys used to sell T-shirts and
eh,
candy in Mexico because they couldn't pay their bills, and Tony Khan gave them an opportunity and gave them a good quality of life, and helped them get their citizenship too. That's the other thing that needs to be talked about. Tony Khan helped them get their green cards and citizenship
yeah,
in the United States, and
Oh,
now it's like thanks, but no
that's
thanks.
absolutely true. I do know that for a fact. He did do that all that shit.
Yep, same thing. The same thing for Ethan Page too.
and, and Carlos, and you know what? I would not be surprised if he actually goes to WWE, and and the next thing and then the next thing you know, and then the next thing you know, he'll do the same thing that Ethan Page and all the other glazers out there, and then he says, and then and then they're just going to be brainwashed. They're just going to be brainwashed by the E, and I don't want that for them. But if that's his choice, but if that's his choice, that's that's all on him.
But you guys got to remember again. Look at the wrestling business; it's very competitive. Like to make it there, you have to be very you have to be your number one advocate, right? So all these guys, they're all going to think that they can make it there. They're all going to believe because they wouldn't be in the wrestling. They wouldn't be there where they're at now if they didn't believe in themselves. So I'm not going to blame them for thinking they can go there and think they're going to make it, even though we might not think so as fans. I'm always going to be happy that they are their own biggest advocates and go for it, man. Go ahead, Leroy. You're next.
Oh, okay.
They're probably going to say, "I'm the
Oh,
captain now."
go Wes. Then go. Was Leroy next or what? Go
Yeah,
ahead, Wes.
I'm about to leave.
Go
I had a
ahead.
question for Stampede.
Yeah.
What are the next two matches for Thunder Rosa, and do you like her character change now back to her old music and stuff?
I like the direction Thunder is going. Yeah, that match last night over delivered.
It's how
That
emotional
was
she got, man.
yeah, like that. Like we were just talking about Ricky Starks, right? You want people in your promotion or your company or whatever who are invested in what you're doing and the path that you're on and where you want to go with things. Thunder Rosa exhibited that last night after that match. Those are the people you want. If you got someone who doesn't want to be there, let them go. Your contract is up, just part ways, thank them for their services and wish them well.
I
Right?
agree.
But all this that we're seeing right now, 5 years in, right? This is nothing new. This all happened before. I don't know how old you guys are, but I was alive and well, right, when WCW and WWF, WWE were button heads. And you've seen people going back and forth all the time, all the time. I've seen Luger do it on the same night, I think it
Yep. And
was,
Rick Rude.
right? And Rick Rude, right? Like it happened. It's not. This is not odd.
But that's what I mean.
I
That's
mean, it's
yeah.
fairly. like if you're fairly new, like in the last
Yeah.
20 years, and you only experienced one company, this is not something you're probably used to. But this is actually a good thing,
Yeah, the
right?
Lucha
Because it
Brothers leave for
freshens up the roster.
correct. They leave for
Right.
3 years. They come back. You're going to want to see them wrestling in tag matches again. But right now, they've done everything, so there's nothing wrong with leaving and coming back either.
Yeah.
Thanks,
If
guys.
Ricky
I'm out.
leaves and it doesn't,
All right, Wes.
see
We'll talk to
Wes.
you later.
Later.
See you
But
later.
if Ricky leaves, right? Like Ricky is still in his early mid 30s. If it doesn't work out after 3 years and his deal is up in WWE, you could potentially see him back, right? That's how this works, right? It may work and he could stay there till he's 45. Who knows? But for every Ricky Starks that is going to leave, and for every Lucha brother that is going to leave, you're going to bring in a Ricochet, and you're going to bring in probably a Mustafa Ali.
Hurt business. Hurt business.
Yeah, and it just freshens up your roster. Now all of a sudden, you got new Bobby Lashley, like he's likely going there. So now you got three guys coming in
Mustafa
for
Ali,
three
hopefully.
guys that fresh matchups, fresh storylines, fresh, right?
And to
You can
your
only do
guys'
one guy, right?
And to go on what you guys were talking about earlier, too, that's why I would ask them to be doing business. Because again, if they don't want to do business and they still have a year on their contract, then if you ask them to do something they don't want to do it, then release them and let them go. Like, why pay them to sit on the sidelines for a year? Like, that's my other part too. Like, and then if the fans can't be mad if you ask them to do business and they don't want to do it, and then you if they don't want to do their job, then you have every right to release them. So that's why he's too nice. If I was him, I'd be a little bit more harsh.
I think it's because of the fact that the 90-day clause is no longer valid for certain wrestlers now because of the justice system who um, knocked that down. I don't know if everybody's
Yeah, I've
aware of
seen
it,
that.
but
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So I
still
think,
going on, but a lot of these guys just finished off their contract. That's why they don't have the 90-day clause.
and I think Tony's just letting them sit just to like kind of teach him a lesson. Like, okay, well then I'm gonna keep you off TV for
Yeah,
5, 6, 7 months.
which
So
again is fine with him. But if I would just like to see him do more, like I said, just release them and quit. But again, it's his money; he can do what he wants, But I would just like,
right.
But
But
again,
then again, we don't know either whether they're getting paid how they are sitting at home compared to what they're on television. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
we don't.
we don't
Yeah,
know
like
that either.
these are exactly like those things
minimum,
there.
yeah, exactly.
That's aspects of the business that we just have no
Right.
But the
idea
one
about.
thing is that he still let
But
he still let Ricky Starks wrestle. He wrestled in San Francisco like last month. So the fact that he even still let him do like an independent date just shows you what kind of person Tony Khan is.
but for the talent, right? There are ways to do this that is the right way to do it,
And then the
and
Stephanie
the
Valcour way to do it.
respectful, honorable way to do it, right? Stephanie Vacour did not do that. It wasn't all her decision, but she was booked
But
for
she could
Rev
have
Pro.
stood up and said something too.
Well, she was booked for Rev Pro that AEW works with. She was booked for CMLL, which AEW works with, and she was booked for New Japan, which AEW works with. So if you're wondering for a reason as to why those dates didn't happen, right, just connect those three dots, and that will give you that answer.
2 words, Triple H.
Yeah. And then on the other end of that spectrum, Will Ospreay, he signed his deal with AEW, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine about this today. He came on
Yeah,
AEW television, and he made it a point. It's like, I have dates left in New Japan. You do not have to worry about me not fulfilling those dates, and you will get me after those dates are done. Right? So there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. There's two examples.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And he only
Because I
got,
remember she
and
asked me,
he,
like, why. I remember the friend I was talking to, she asked me, it's like, well, why would he go on TV and do that? It's like, well, here's why. He was being respectful to the place that he was with for almost a decade, right? Don't worry, you bought tickets, I will be there, right? You will see me, right? And then his new home, it's like, don't worry, you will have me and you will see me, but it won't be until then. So, it was really well done, I thought.
And Teddy, to answer your question, he asked where Alex will go. Alex still does. He does the Mexican commentary, Spanish commentary for AEW, and he also still has Commander, and he has the Kingo as clients too. So he'll still stay with AEW.
I also think that come Wembley, we're going to start seeing surprises and new faces and returns, big time. I know Tony mentioned that he has a couple announcements that are coming up, and I believe one of them is going to be the streaming service, and I think he's waiting on that in order for him to start moving forward regarding what he was going to do with Ring of Honor and Rampage.
Yeah. Well, something's coming with Ring of Honor because they've restructured that quite a bit. You can see, okay, they're putting a lot more focus on that now. So something's coming for that, which is good. I'm glad he stuck to his guns and got that included because that was paramount. Like they had to get it on some sort of network somewhere, right, where people could just click and tune and watch it and not have to buy the subscription. So I'm glad that he stuck with that. Also, a lot of
I just want to
discourse
say,
about Swerve's open challenge last night. Heaven forbid he faces a fucking legend from New Japan.
And
hell yeah.
and lo and behold, he did.
Yeah,
Big time.
I'm just
Can you hear
assuming I'll
me?
Yeah,
probably
you
drop
can
him
hear you
there.
now, Leroy.
Okay. All right.
What were you wanting to say,
Uh,
Leroy? Go ahead.
okay. I didn't want to interrupt, but I wanted to say that the going back on, I know it's a little farther back, but going back to the Outrunners, right? Um, it's like I say, I think when any national TV company, not just AEW, you give them a Titantron, after you give them that video, show who they are, give them the match they are, you already know who they are. Now, I will want to say going into, I know this is a wrap up show, so this is a open forum. Now, the team that I would love to see them against on some indie shows down here is the Outrunners versus the Hard Targets. And the Hard Targets, I put it in the Titantron, their vignette, which is in the top of the Titantron top of the screen here in the spaces. I think it'll be an entertaining match, and or like to see him on a couple shows, either here in the southeast or the northeast, one of the promotions. You know, you know. Definitely. Stunt Marshall is definitely could fit it in with the Outrunners for sure. That dude is a walking 1990s wrestler. Like he's got the top
The
fade.
Hogan beard.
He dresses in all 90s code. He's well. I met Stunt Marshall for and so it's entertaining for people want to see. I met Stunt Marshall years ago. And you know how you think some people like, oh yeah, because they think about it, they say the same thing about me. You know how people think, oh, that's just his gimmick. Oh, he don't be doing that all the time. Nah, bro, he be doing it all the time. He dressing like every early '90s, early '80s clothes every time. I've written it. He's now my regular riding partner because we ride everywhere. Uh, that's my road dog. But I've literally been in the car with him. He's got the short shorts. He's got the fucking LA gym kind of tank top with the flat top out here, like this old brothering it up. And I just like to say, like, when you see people like myself and him, but mainly him, when you see people that are into their, or if you want to call it gimmick, I don't think that's a gimmick. I think that's just you, and you just want to live your truth of your character in wrestling. So I don't think the Outrunners. I don't think that's their. Oh, that's their character. Like I was on a space earlier, and somebody was like, "Oh man, he was being rude. MJF was being rude to a kid. I wish he would say it. Just being out of character for a minute." I was like, "Brother, I've heard from many people. I don't think that's his character. That's just who MJF is. He's a rat bastard." And these are, those rich rap bastards. They out here, they think they're better than everybody, and they don't have to lose to a certain rules. Especially when you, from what I hear from certain people, they come from that Richie Rich lifestyle in Staten Island. But yeah, he's an asshole. But the Outrunners and Stunt Marshall are like true to form. I've only met them like a couple of times, like the recent times. Then they was here in Atlanta. I was talking to them, and they was walking, and they had the '80s stuff on. I seen them in another show. They had the '80s stuff on. Some people who just they live. That's who they are. So if you like that, or check out the Hard Targets. They're kind of like a throwback, but they're a throwback of like a buddy cop movie. So Donnie Primetime, he doesn't want to admit it, but he's the cousin of Joey Janela, and Start Marshall, a fantastic wrestling personality. That is all.
I just want to say something, and maybe I can get your opinion, Stampede and Carlos. Um, I've been tweeting and suggesting that Tony bring in the United Empire as a faction, that kind of like almost taking over, almost like the Bloodline type, but United Empire, taking over AEW. What do you guys think about that?
Mark Davis is still hurt, so that would be one issue there. The other issue would be Kyle Fletcher, since Mark Davis has been hurt, has been really shown out as a singles guy. Uh,
And plus, they're better. I
I
think
like,
Will Ospreay works better as a babyface too.
yeah. So I wouldn't at some point, but I mean, you'd have to have people free and clear in Japan to be able to do that too, right? Like Jeff Cobb is in it. And Jeff Cobb's your TV champion over there. So there's a lot of moving parts to get something like that on the go and have it consistently done. Unless they created a new United Empire, you know, AEW version, you could do it that way. Start off with Will and Kyle, and then build on it from there, from within.
Yeah, but we
Kind of
also
like Bang Bang
Yeah,
did,
but they also have
right?
Francisco Akira and TJ and all those other ones that are with United Kingdom Empire. I mean, as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But you'd have to be able to, you know, can we get these guys? If we can, how long can we get them for? Do you have anything planned for them coming up? You know, they said there's a lot of moving parts and stuff like that, right? So it's not just, you know, he works with New Japan, but it's not a, you know, I'll just go over to the cupboard and grab this, and this. You got to work together with it. So. But the premise of it, I like. Yeah.
I just think that if possible, if it does happen or could happen, I don't know. Again, I think that would be a dominant faction to take over AEW, the takeover.
Well, if you can get Mark
I mean,
back,
yeah, but then
then you got a
you
solid.
gotta have factions for them to fight against too. Like that's the thing too. Then you got to have proper factions for them to feud with. Um,
That if
I
Mark
mean,
comes back, then
I'm not
pairing
against
those
it.
three up, yeah, that would be a no-brainer. They have history and they work well together. So,
But I also, but like the Stampede's point, I think Kyle Fletcher is kind of out. Even like right now, like I'm afraid are they going to even do them as a tag team anymore because he's already showing out as a single star, So it's like I don't know I don't know if that's the right choice for his career. Like sometimes putting people back in factions is a step backwards.
well, Kyle has future world champion written all over him.
Oh, 100
It's not going
percent.
to happen the next year or so, but it will happen. You know, he's only what 25 or 26, which
I
is
mean, he gets the way
amazing
he
in and of
sells.
itself.
He gets the
To be
way
that
he
good,
gets everything. Yeah.
yeah, like to be that good at that young, that's something else.
But I also see Will Ospreay really wanting to like. I could just see Ospreay too really wanting to let New Japan have that be their intellectual property. He seems somebody to me like he wouldn't want to do that to New Japan. I think he'd want to let them keep it as well.
Yeah, Will is very respectful of the business. So you could,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
he just exudes that. And just the way he presents himself and just the way he talks, and
right,
it's not an act like what you hear.
right. Have they mentioned anything about the open challenge for Soraya yet, or did they like not talk about it anymore?
She just keeps saying that she
No,
wants on the card.
Oh, okay.
yeah, she did pick up the win Friday against Nyla Rose,
Right.
so that she's starting to pick up right. So that's moving her in that direction, right? I think it'll be an open challenge, and if I'm putting money, I'm betting Hater, because that gets Hater on. Like you'll get two massive pops in that. Soraya will get the pop because of where she's from. Hater will get the pop because of where she's from, and just the fact that she's finally back, and it gets Hater a win because you want her winning when she's coming back. So
Right.
that if they did it that way, it would accomplish a lot of things in a very short amount of time.
Don't you think they'll tag her to Brit though, and we'll get Camille Mercedes versus Brit and Jamie at All Out? Because I think we'll get a tag match at All Out, and that's where Jamie will come into it.
I
Oh,
definitely
that
think
would
Jamie's
that
gonna come.
Possibility too, yeah.
that would be good.
Yeah, because Renegade twins are
But
on the way
I
for
think for the
Mercedes as well.
reintroduction, though. But I think for the reintroduction, I think Soraya would be the smart way to go. Because it kills two birds with one stone. It gets both of them on the card. It's
Yeah,
not going to eat up a ton of time. Right?
and they can do a
And
tag
then you just
match.
splinter off from
Yeah,
that.
they can
Yeah,
do.
and then you just splinter off from there,
Yeah,
right?
you can do a tag match at All Out and build to that on Dynamite next 2 weeks, and get Renegade twins involved, Mercedes there as well, because they're coming on the way. So
We could, yeah. You most certainly could.
yeah.
So what's everybody's take on this mixed tag that was announced for AEW?
Oh, tomorrow Ishi's at Wembley. I love it. It's brilliant. Ishi's at Wembley.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
yeah. So we got
I'm not for it,
uh,
especially.
Willow and Big Tom going up against Statlander and Stokely Hathaway.
I already told you my
I just
feelings.
haven't zeroed out.
I better see Brian Cage in that gauntlet match. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think Wembley will change? Ishi's gonna kill you to Stokely. Ishi's gonna kill you. Ishi's gonna kill you.
I I think what we're going to see. I think we're going to see Chris Statlander go at it with Tomohiro Ishii.
Honestly, wow. That'd be a beast move.
Yeah, yeah.
Does anybody have
Well,
any
you could do
word
it. Well,
on
the Stat could
Miro?
hold her own. No, I think he's on a milk carton somewhere. Have you seen this man? If so, please call 1-800. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
No, I know one
He's
guy's
on
parents died.
he's on the whole milk, and Dragon Lee's on the 2%.
Yeah. So
I
if he
think
doesn't want to work, then write out his contract and let him go back to WWE and see if it works out any better for him than it did the last time. Doubtful, but he just seems like he's a really good promo, and he's a big, good, like he's strong guy in the ring. There's nothing inherently wrong with him. He just seems a little. The impression I get is that he overvalues what he is. I think he sees himself in a different light than what he actually is, as far as a performer. Like I don't see Miro as like world champion. I see him as mid card guy, yeah, but I don't see him as a world champion.
And the thing that makes me mad is the
So it just
AEW
depends on
fans.
how.
The AEW fans finally accepted him, and he just turned his back on us, on the fans. By thinking
I
by
mean, the
what
show.
Stampede just said, he thinks he's bigger than he thinks he's bigger. He thinks he's bigger than he is.
Yeah.
what are the
Yeah.
chances that Shane
Like
McMahon
do
shows
you
up for the
see
gauntlet
like you
match?
see Miro taking the title off Swerve or Osprey or like any of those?
No.
I don't. Okada?
No.
No. Right. So put it in. You got to put it in perspective, right? I could see him taking the title off Andrade. I'll let you guys figure out that joke as we go.
Andrade,
We get
speed champion. It's all you need
What
to
was?
say. He's speed champion.
Yep.
I honestly think the women's speed championship is waste of time because I
It,
mean,
it,
even in WWE, they only
Um,
get what 1 minute, 2 minute matches anyway. So
it's got Tegan Knox written all over it
yeah.
from now.
Yeah, but it's not a good idea though, Simon. I know it makes them money off Twitter and
Mm.
that, but anybody holding that, they're kind of laughed at. It's not building up any credibility for them, that's for sure.
it's
Yeah.
almost like a 24/7
So
title.
that'd be
That's what it is, isn't it? 24.
similar to it, yeah. Yeah. It's like I have a title. And congrats. Good job. That's an Orange Cassidy thumbs up.
R-Truth actually held that title yet. I'm waiting for R-Truth to hold that. It's coming in it. It's coming in future.
Well, all the talk of the mid card title for the women's, I mean, it was talk for a while, but then they come up with this speed crap, so it's like it's no different.
Yeah, but they know the problem, and I've said this ad nauseum. You can't put more titles on the main roster if you don't have enough in-ring time to support them, and they don't. Right? Like I looked at the numbers, and this was Friday. Right? This was Friday after SmackDown. Raw and SmackDown had less time in the ring than Dynamite and Rampage had.
Right.
So if you start throwing out more titles, especially women titles, so women don't get enough time, not even close to enough time.
Bailey
Right.
can't even
What
get
is
on.
it exactly you're going
Bailey can't even get on SmackDown.
right?
Oh.
Right, exactly. What is it exactly you were going to do with those titles?
Right.
You're not putting the people who own them in the ring, obviously. So what are they just kind of carrying them around? That's just their props at that point. So unless they fix that first part, you can't start adding to it, and I don't see them fixing it. There's no reason to fix it to them. So,
I honestly think that the AEW women's roster is much more stronger than any other promotion, I believe.
Yep, I agree.
oh, in North America, yes, absolutely.
I'd agree because it's got
Top to
Mercedes in
bottom,
it.
and the way they're presented,
Got
the way they're
Mercedes in it.
booked. Yeah,
I I, I agree, Mr.
there's nothing
CEO.
even really close right
Yeah, she's GOAT. She's the GOAT. So Mercedes there. So I'm saying that.
If
And
they add
and
Soraya
in me
to
saying that,
Wembley,
it's not
uh-huh.
not an it's not an and that's not a knock on the talent on the women's roster in WWE. They
The
have the
second
talent.
one would be the
It's
second one would
there.
be TNA.
They just don't use it.
They've got Io
That's the problem.
Shirai. They just don't use Io to the right potential at the minute. They're not using Io correctly.
I have a question about the women's division. First of all, Io
No,
Shirai, one of the sexiest women
if
in
you
wrestling.
watch Io Sky matches in WWE, and
Mm-hmm.
if you watch Io Sky's match that she had in Marigold,
Yeah. Yeah.
those are completely different,
Yeah.
right? Completely different.
Yeah.
The person you've seen in the Marigold match was Io Shirai
Yeah.
from NXT, right? And then there's Io Sky on the main roster. They're not the same.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're good, but they're not. Right?
Can I
Yeah.
can I ask a question
There's a
about the
disconnect
women's
there.
division real quick?
The women's roster. I don't know how they could if they want to. Is the problem.
Can
Right, and I
Stampede?
think if they add Soraya to Wembley Stadium to the Wembley card, that would be 4 women's matches
And
in a
well,
pay per
case in
view.
point, right? People were complaining and bitching. Yeah, yeah. Um, and
I think
and
you're
people were
breaking up.
bitching and complaining and moaning. It's like, Why are we getting Hikaru Shida and Mercedes on a Wednesday? Like, be glad that you are.
It's a dream
You
match.
know,
It's a
you
dream.
could be tuning into the other program and getting 2-minute, 3-minute matches or whatever. Like, be thankful that we can get these things.
Yeah, the Chaos have been involved with it.
Yeah,
And,
like
and
Carlos
wrestling,
said earlier,
there's winners and losers. There's
Camille,
nothing wrong with
she's
somebody
likely to
losing.
get involved, so it's a means to an end with this, right? So it's just,
Yeah.
just
Right.
you know,
And we've seen Mercedes actually
Slater.
wrestle for the first time in a while, which is great.
enjoy the ride because we
And that's
didn't
the thing.
have this ride
Mercedes
5
wrestling
years
on
ago.
TV. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
another thing. We're getting Mercedes on
Right.
television.
There was
Yeah.
one ride.
Oh.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Slater, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
All right, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I think I'm about to take the Stampede route on this take that I'm about to make. Okay? Can't believe I'm doing this. The worst move that WWE ever made was hiring Jay Cargill to come over to the main roster. I think Jade could have stayed AEW and she should have just stayed there. I feel like wasted talent over in WWE right now. I can't believe this.
No,
I
it's
feel like I'm
100% right.
I feel like I'm Stampede right now. I feel like I'm Stampede.
You made him leave the room because you took his gimmick and you left.
I took his gimmick.
You there, Stampede?
Yeah,
He left. Look, he's
Oh,
I
gone.
guess
oh,
I guess I guess I'm Stampede.
Slater, why?
I can't believe I just said that. But I feel like the worst thing Jay Cargill did for her career was go over to WWE. Um, I feel bad for saying it, but I don't feel bad for saying it.
Honest,
I'm glad she left because it freed Tony Khan. It freed the women's division. To me,
right.
like they were trying to book around her so much and trying to like make her look like a star, and it was just like and they were just trying to feed people to her so much that I'm glad she left because I feel like if she's a better fit in WWE. And in my opinion, like they haven't done nothing with her. Like she's nothing of significance, but um, I don't think it was the wrong decision. I think she fits better over there. So I mean, I'm okay with it if I'm being
They're not
honest.
using it right, Carlos. You know what I'm saying? They're not using it right. They're she's a beautiful body. Yeah, cool, whatever, great. That's great, but like it's not enough, my guy. It's not enough. Like
Yeah, but
It's not.
it's the same thing as all the other women. I mean, WWE signs women and they don't really use them regardless. So, anyway,
But
I
yeah,
think Jay should have stayed in
but
NXT and not the main roster.
but Jay's there to be a star. She's there. She wants to do movies. She wants to do acting. She wants to be a crossover star. So for her
Oh,
doing that, like
oh
like
boy.
she's where she belongs. That's what she wants. She wants to be a movie. She wants to be a crossover star. Like
she wants to be a female rock. That's what you're saying.
exactly. Exactly. So that's why she went there. She's with that. She who owns them? Vitality. She owns WWE. So she's there. She's there for that reason. She's there because she wants to be there.
Right.
She's taking pictures with her husband in Japan. Her social media game with it. Yeah, she's where she needs to be. I mean, but I agree. She has not been booked right. The booking's been shit. But because that's just what they do. It's just they don't have a working house show. Her and Bianca should be doing house shows together, tag teams, so she can learn from Bianca. They're totally it's been a total misstep,
It's
100%.
Yeah, and
it's
she has a
it's
lot
it's
of botch moves as well. So, I don't
it,
know. I've seen a lot of her in
it's
ring
like
in
it's
WWE
like
and it's not that great.
it's like I said to our friend Pro Wrestling Bites there yesterday, or the day before. He had a post like as to what that fan base will watch. It's like, what are you watching? I'm watching Star Power. Well, what does it do?
Exactly. Yep.
It's like, well, it has aura. It's like, does it do anything
Yep.
else? It's like, what?
So so
It
But
has
it's true. Like
like it has,
for most of the fans, it's about the entrance. It's
that's
about
it.
coming out. It's about the crowd going crazy. It's the aura. That's what they don't care about the action. They care about the
so
aura. Well put,
It's
Stampede.
like, it's like,
100%.
what
Stampede,
else
where
does
were
it
you?
do? Well, it has an entrance. Well, what does the entrance do? Well, the entrance got a lot of aura.
Aura.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, does it
Stampede
do anything once it gets to the ring? The radio silence, dead air.
Stampede, where were
Yeah,
you a
nothing.
minute ago when I was you for a second? Like you were nowhere to be found.
I don't
I
know.
can't
I
believe
got
The universe couldn't take all the hate. That was the universe spoke.
yeah. If I was in Stardom, I would be in that faction hate. They actually have a faction over there. It's called Hate. I love
Yeah,
it.
I can't. Yo, Stampede, you were like,
It's my
listen.
favorite
I can't.
faction. Yeah.
Listen. We got three of the most gorgeous women in wrestling, and none of them are called up. We got Io Shirai. We got Gigi Dolan. It's,
Well, there's
it's
beautiful
terrible.
women everywhere, man. Not just like
Terrible.
they're all over the place.
Back.
All over the place.
And beautiful guys too. Don't
And
they give the
beautiful
good
guys
looking
too.
guys
Yes.
props too?
Don't
Exactly.
discriminate.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Hey, speaking of beautiful men, what's up with Pretty Deadly? I mean, are we gonna give them a title or not give them a
Nope.
title or what are we doing
Nope.
with that?
Oh my gosh! Don't even start with me
They're,
on that. They should have been champions a
Nah,
year ago, but they were.
Bloodline at tag champions, there's no chance of the
Yeah, but
bottom line,
exactly
Jack.
because the Usos had the lot. They had to unify the titles, and then for the bloodline, and so the tag division went to shit. And the tag champions were on Raw, and they should have been the champions. They should have been champions already a year ago.
yeah. So what you're seeing at a Pretty Deadly right now is what you're getting.
Yeah, with
Yeah, the
Bloodline.
musical. They're gonna tease a musical for the next 5 years.
Yeah. Which is a which is a shame. They're a talented team, right? I don't much care for the gimmick, but they're talented. They could do something with them if they chose to. Problem is, they choose not to. And Street
Uh,
Profits.
I think if Tony could, and he should, I think Cole Carter could be the next Randy Orton. I believe if he used him right.
hmm.
That's a big leap.
That's a big. I think it's. I don't think. I think there's only one. Randy. He's a third generation wrestler. He's just very. He's unique. His size. I like. I mean, Cole Carter gets the wrestling business. I mean, his facial expressions. He's a good looking kid, but I don't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go that far.
You know, I'm
Randy
not
is
going
a
to say that he
very
can take Randy Orton's place. I'm saying he can be a Randy Orton
that
if they
style
used
of
him correct. Yes, his style, his charisma, everything like that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Randy's a very unique kind of character in how he works because he's very subtle in a lot of the stuff that he does. Right?
But
It's
that's
just
not how
how.
he started. When he first started, he was a young kid that
Oh
didn't
yeah.
take the wrestling business seriously.
Yeah. Well, I remember when he first started. Yeah.
He was about banging chicks and partying. Yeah.
The,
Yeah,
the beginning was kind of rough. Yeah, but I mean, he matured, figured it out. But, it,
yeah, a few
this
bumps
this
down the road, but yeah.
this match would and feud would never happen just due to where people work at. But the one I would want to see just for the promos, the in ring work, and the psychology of the whole thing would be Randy Orton and Jay White. I think that would be just very intriguing and very interesting to see those two live
Hmm.
working opposite each other because they do those two do have similarities. Because Randy's that sly, cunning, conniving, you know, always thinking man's wrestler, right? And can hit that finishing move out of the blue when you're done. Right? That copy that explanation and put it on Jay White. It applies. Right? It'll never happen.
Randy Orton and Jay White.
Hmm.
You,
You'll have to
you
do
are.
it on like an Xbox or a PlayStation, though, Leonardo.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Randy's not going to AEW, obviously, and I think if Jay White went to WWE, that'd be pretty much career suicide for whatever
He'd,
character he
he'd
has.
been he'd been OC with AJ and Gallows and Anderson and me.
Yeah. So picture how
Yeah.
well that like yeah, like I don't have any interest in that whatsoever. Some people work in certain places and some people don't. Jay White wouldn't work in WWE. Randy would work in AEW though. Like I said, it's not something like you'll never see it. He's a company guy. He's there for life.
What you guys think about Roosh and Preston Vance last night?
Oh, it was good. Simple, simple, and straight to the point.
To me, it just shows like they listen to the fans because again, you had the payoff of what happened to this faction. So that was the part of it that I liked. Go ahead, Leroy.
All right. So I'm gonna say this before I say this. This is gonna be completely biased. So if you're looking for a non-biased take on this subject, you ain't gonna get it from me. All right. Now that that's out the way, I thought that it was a good match and a good story that told. It was a story without even they didn't even in this kind of thing they didn't even need like it would have been cool if they had a promo or something, but being that Roos is not really fluent in English like that, the they just told the story in the ring, which is good because I personally feel that Preston can't catch a break.
No, 100%.
He can't catch a break. He can't catch a. He like when I hear people be like, and I be in discords and stuff, and they be like, "Oh, Preston's kind of mid." It was like, "Oh, he's this, he's that." I was like, "Well, you would think he was mid too if he didn't have these opportunities to show that he can be a guy for the company." And like I know now, me and Preston don't talk all the time because he's moved away, and also he's doing his other thing. But I think he's a commodity to have for your company. Not only he's got the look, he's really good in the ring, you know. And being that is, I just think they just this is the time where all right, we've already like scattered brain this situation of LFI. So we took the leader and we put him in Don Callis. So what do we do with Princeton and the other luchador? He's probably going to be on Ring of Honor.
Well, he was Dragon
So
Lee
what
still
they
wasn't
did
signed
is,
though. I think he was just for appearance though.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, Dragon Lee's
Brother, Rush's brother.
other
Yeah.
brother. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. So and this is what I say. This is gonna be this is just bias. I personally think going forward, like from what I hear from, and this is what I'm going to say this because I do know the guy and I have trained with the guy. So, and what he's told me is like they're gonna put him on more collisions, and I think he's just gonna be Preston. And I was like, to be honest, dude, I told him this. I was like, honest, they need to give you a good baby face run. When you're a natural baby face run is it should be just you. Just be you for a while, have matches, do your thing, get over with the crowd because you was over with the crowd with the Dark Order. But now the Dark Order's gone. Now you are not with LFI. Just get you being a babyface run, get on Collision, you know, show the real people of Preston Vance. Now, I will say, yes, he is kind of an asshole, but he's a likable asshole like myself. Um, and once you give him promo time, once you give him matches, he'll be at least a good character and at least a commodity where you can use him on a collision and stuff like that. I thought, like I said, I thought the intricacies of telling the story with Roos and and him, and not only him to just catch a break in the company. I joked with him not too long ago today, and I said, "Bro, you be getting more busted open than I do, and I do hardcore matches." He said, "I remember one time, and this is the hilarious thing where I laugh at this now. I remember when Preston said, I'm not doing no hardcore shit at all. He's done more. He's been busted open more times than I ever could. He's been done more hardcore stuff. Matter of fact, him and Anna J has done more hardcore stuff, and they was like, "Oh, we not doing it. Oh, we not doing it." And they doing more bleeding than me out here. I've bled one or two times, but I ain't never like multiple times. So I think it's just hilarious how like you guys are more hardcore wrestlers than I am. But I think it was a good show, and I like this. I'm looking forward to seeing more on TV, so we can actually get a goddamn run, uh, and just like do some stuff. Like I ain't gonna lie, it'd be kind of frustrating sometimes seeing my homie that like he just can't. He just they put him on these groups and shit, and they just be flopping. They just be like not being used or taking people out. So
Yeah, my only thing about it is when someone's blading, like you need to cut away from the camera. They've shown it one too many times on TV where you can see him like and that was one thing last night. You can see him starting to cut. You can see him cut himself, and it's like, come on, guys! Like when he's starting to blade, cut the camera away from the man. Come on.
because he don't know how to do hard way.
Yeah,
He don't know how to
yeah.
like.
But you could like I said,
Yeah.
because you get to see him cut himself, and I'm just like, come on. But at the same time, like cut to another angle, guys. Like don't show it on TV. But I agree.
Oh, I just want to say.
But I'm
Oh,
with you. Like I think he's
I,
a good talent. He's easy on the eyes, and I like I agree. He's got a lot of bad breaks, and again, like I want to see him succeed. Cause I really honestly I got to really like him on the Ethan Page vlogs, and so I want to see him do well.
yeah, we like we talk from time to time, like, well, we don't get to talk as much as we do. I think the last time I got to talk up to him recently is when he came to when he came to TCW Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling, and he did a match, and we just cast up and shit. And I was just like, yeah, I was like, we don't even talk that often. And he was like, so it's a joke how like I tell him like how he got on TV and he be big leaguing me, which he be do be big leaguing me. That's not just a joke. He do be big leaguing me, but that's beside the point. Um, I was just like I just like I say this all the time. I was like, I'm glad that he's what a TV contract, and this is like I ain't this a AEW thing. I really feel like this is a thing in national TV. Like I wasn't there for a long period of time, but I would have got a hella frustrated if I'm on if I'm on a national TV contract and I'm not being used. Don't get me wrong that I'm not going to eat the catering. I will be eating the catering, but it's so much stuff that you can really eat. You know, you can sit there on your phone and it would just agitate the shit out of me. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't care if it's WWE. I don't care if it's TNA. I don't care if it's AEW. If I'm not being used and I can't wrestle, I'm frustrated. I'm gonna talk to whoever I need to talk to. Hey man, give me a match. I don't care. Put me in the ring. That's just me. So I know he just be like secretly is like, bro, I need to get in the ring. I'm trying to like I'm wasting my good years basically just fucking off over here, just sitting down and like whatever. But like, yeah, his personality, he's a likable guy, and I feel like him being an asshole. And I say this in all because I know the guy. He's an asshole, but he's a likable asshole. That's how me and him get along. And people are like, oh, you're not an asshole. Like, yeah, I have asshole tendencies. I try not to put it out all the time on the internet, but yeah, I am. In the best ways. So the Ethan Page blog, Ethan being a real cool dude and like putting him on a blog and showing him like, hey, Preston Vance got personality. He's not just this
Yep.
bodybuilder WWE kind of guy. He's actually got a personality, and if you give him the ball to like do something, he can show you it. It's a lot of the same people. Uh, like this is off topic. People, if you know, you know. If you follow the indies, you follow it. Well, you seen him on. If you seen him on AEW, but Adam Priest. Adam Priest, I thought was a bland wrestler. Couldn't have personality if he tried. I get in the car with him. We were riding from Batman to Chicago, and I just find out, oh, he has personality. You just don't show it that often. You're afraid to show your personality. Yo, you got some sauce. You got some, find out he likes Meg the Stallion and he likes thick black women and he likes you to be dancing and stuff. I was like, okay, where the fuck where do you gonna show that? Like, you're a good wrestler, but now, you're in wrestling. You need to show your personality on top of your wrestling. So now he's trying to do that. And, like, uh, I'm glad that that is. But, like, the people that I interact with, I always want to see if they have personality, especially my friends, especially if you trying to get on TV. You got to have personality because I feel like, and I'm going to say this from a person that people perceive that I can't wrestle or I can't wrestle as good as other people. People like myself are perceived that they can't wrestle or they can't go or whatever, and we have more personality and wrestling skills. 9 times out of 10, like us that can't, and I'm speaking for all the people like myself, not just me. Uh, Show people like, okay, he can't do like maybe like a 450, but uh he can definitely do not only just have like takeovers, but he can also chain a little bit, but he also can talk. He can do a little bit of both. And so I think Preston is an example of if you look at him like, oh, this motherfucker be looking like John Cena Jr. out here. This motherfucker can't wrestle. This man can't do this shit. But I think if you give people that have the personality that have that you think, oh, you know what, they're not that good. If you give them time in the ring and you give somebody like a Preston Vance a microphone and you let him just be him, hey Preston, go out there and just be you and just talk. Now don't get me wrong, Preston definitely needs a manager. He definitely needs a manager. Probably like myself or me, somebody that can talk, but he can talk a little bit, but not that much. So that being said, people like that on both scales, one of the super jack people that they look like they can't wrestle. 9 times out of 10, some of them have personality. It depends on that particular person. And the people who are really good at wrestling, normally can't really talk that much. But that's what I thought about Adam Priest because I didn't think he can really talk like the right character, but he does. That's why, like this past week when Darian Banksian went on Ring of Honor, I was happy for him because he can wrestle. But now, like when he gets a opportunity to talk, he's one of the rare few that he can do both. He can talk and wrestle. He's a charismatic individual in both the ring and on the mic. So it's just one of those things.
Cool. So this week, the main event we had was the number one contender match for the trios titles. We had Bang Bang Gang versus the House of Black. Of course, it ends in a decision, and we get the Bang Bang. We get the patriarchy beating up on both factions. What did you guys think of this match, and how do you guys think? What do you guys think we're gonna get it all in?
I liked the match. I liked the way the ending was set up with Christian. I thought that was very smartly done.
I think he wore the referee outfit better than Seth Rollins too. He gets a point for that.
Low bar over there, but he did manage to hurdle that. Yeah. Like I said, it was just smartly done. Like counting to 10, and then Buddy was just ready to get up. It's like, fuck you, I'm going to spare you.
It,
10. Neither of yous win. Well, of course, that's going to come back to bite Christian in the ass. Instead of facing one of these two teams, now he's going to have to face probably both.
is this
So
leading to Jay White's return soon as well?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah,
I would
that's
say
good.
so. I would say maybe that spear, now that you mentioned that, Simon, that could have been a
Yeah,
little bit of foreshadowing.
yeah,
Because Jay White got put out, Christian speared him, and now he just
yeah,
spears Buddy. So maybe Jay
yeah,
comes in and spears him, and then they lose their titles.
yeah,
So that could very well happen. But yeah,
yeah.
I see Jay White reappearing at the All
All
Out.
in. Yeah,
Yep.
My only issue with all this is if and they showed this on the AEW website. They're listing Mama Wayne as one of the trios champions because Christian gave her the belt. So you're letting them freebird the titles, but you didn't let the Bullet Club Gold
Well,
do it. That's the only part that's getting me mad.
Mama Wayne gets in the ring, fine, it's Freebird. But That's just another tie-in too to Kill Switch eventually having
I
enough.
know, but I'm
Yeah,
like, boo.
yeah. Mama Wayne. Nick Wayne has a speaking of the Waynes, Nick Wayne has a match, I believe, on Rampage this coming Friday with
Yep.
one Kip Sabian. So there's something going on there. I haven't figured it out yet. That's good. I don't like being able to figure everything.
Yo, shout out to fine ass Mama Wayne.
But I think
Uh,
I think it was Leroy that brought it up earlier. You know, AEW does not make stars. It's like, well, fucking Nick Wayne, man. Like, look at him. Look at him now. Look at him 12 months ago when he first got there.
Yeah, that too. That too in OVW. They don't give people opportunities, like that man. But
You know, and they're still, and people are saying, oh, they should let him should be out doing singles wrestling. Like, well, he is. He's just not doing it all in AEW, right? Because they let
But
people.
he gets on TV more with being with Christian than he would because he was a single star. So they got to try to understand he's getting
Yeah,
more TV time by being where he's at.
exactly. You're going to get on TV, so you're going to be seen. You're learning from Christian. Like, that's a good little mentor to have there. The guy's been in the business for what, 25 years? And has been very successful everywhere that he has went, and he has one of the best characters in professional wrestling for the last
un-
bit. So,
unpopular opinion, Christian's better than Edge. I think Christian's better than Edge. I always thought that. More of a fan of Christian than Edge.
I got them right on par with each other. Christian is always thought of as the lesser than, right?
Yeah,
But,
underrated. TNA run
but
were amazing. TNA run were
yeah,
amazing.
but like Christian has, like, if you look back at Christian's career, like, there's not a lot to really complain about. It's just always
Mm.
got pushed more, right, to the forefront. So, which was partially due to where they worked. Right? Vince McMahon wanted to put a blue dot over his face. I'll leave it
And
at
then he
that.
went to TNA and became a megastar in TNA. He was
Right,
amazing.
right. So, you know, and I remember when Christian walked out, right, when
Hmm.
he first showed up, people bashed that to no end. All major signing. Like, how's it working out now?
Exactly.
Working out, it's been working out pretty well. Right? So with this trios match, this'll cook between these two teams. With everybody that's involved in it. So, and like Carlos was just saying, is going to get Nick Wayne on a rather huge stage in a very important match. So, and look who he's going to be in the ring with: Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King, the Guns, who have improved immensely. Juice Robinson, who's wrestled all over the world. Like, that's an education that you it's invaluable. The education that kid is getting. Just it was well done. It was a good little setup.
What do you think about the Claudio and Okada match?
That's taking place in Cardiff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is a
which
card missing all in then? Is a card not doing Wembley? He's not appearing. He's not wrestling.
what he's on. When would the Cardiff show be? Let me have a look at the calendar and see.
It's on Wednesday. But the one thing I wish for this, and again, if they announced a streaming deal, is I wish they would show the Dynamite live to us on Max because it's going to be pre-taped. I think that'd be a good week to announce. I think that'd be a good week to announce the partnership with Warner Brothers and Max if they're going to do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming very shortly. You can tell by his tweets, like he's itching to release it. He's just kind of probably waiting on word of say, okay, you can say something now.
What will WWE fans say when he announces a new TV deal Wednesday? They'll be saying a lot of shit, won't they?
What'll happen there, Simon, is you will almost be able to hear their forehead kind of scrunch up as they try to figure out something to say right? That won't make any fucking sense whatsoever as to why this is a bad thing. Just ignore them. Okay. Yeah, the 21st is the Dynamite show. So I don't have a problem with being on there because I mean that's you're giving people that can't necessarily get to the All In show, you're giving them something to go to, of significance, right? So that's how you build. That's how you do your week, right? Just don't have shows for the sake of having them. Have shows that people are going to want to see because of what's on them, right? And the money, the hard-earned money that they pay to get there, make it worth their while. It seems to be what they're doing. Essentially, don't phone it in. I would imagine Rev Pro got a show the night before. 12-year anniversary show. What's on that one? Oku and Jacob, Saber and Hechicero, Danny Luna faces a mystery person. Big Tom and JJ Gale, Neon versus El Phantasmo, Leon Slater, Cameron Kai, and Will Caven, and Connor Mills and Ethan Allen. So I would imagine there'll be some AEW talent will show up there, as it did last year. Be a fun day. Are you far from there, Simon? Are you far from all this stuff?
I live up north. I'm more like Leeds way, Manchester. That's South London. It's a bit far from me. That bit far.
Okay. I figured I'd ask. I didn't want to be one of those people that just figure,
Yeah.
right? Oh, you're in England, so you're like close to everything then.
Yeah.
I was going to. Don't worry.
I'm north. I'm like Yorkshire and Leeds and Manchester way. It's near Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds way. That's south. That's London. It's like 3 hours away on a train. It's a bit away from me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the distance then. Yeah, that's a fair bit.
Yeah.
But I get that. I get that with Canada. Like, you're in Canada? My cousin, she lives in Edmonton.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
5,000 miles away from me. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I live in Yorkshire. It's full of countryside, the Yorkshire Dales. You've probably heard of that. It's not much.
It sounds very countryish, yes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Got a couple of what else is booked for the Dynamite just before we get off the AEW topic?
So I want to ask really quick, what do you guys think? What do you guys think for the Acclaimed and Young Bucks? What do you think's gonna happen there?
Young Bucks, I think.
Ew, you're off the space.
I'm thinking the Acclaim take this.
Do you think do you think this Acclaim versus FTR at All In? Like, what do you think? Because to me, it'd be weird if they booked this it'd be weird if they booked it just like they're booking the trios. So I'm kind of curious where it's gonna go.
Well,
three-way dance at All In, a triple threat, I think, and the Mercedes
but they're doing that with the trios already too.
Yeah, I don't think they double up on three-way, but this could go back to what Carlos was saying earlier, right? If the Acclaim take the titles off the Bucks, which I would have no problem with because they're not defending them anyway, right? Then they're already building Acclaim and FTR. They got lots of heat with each other. FTR doesn't have a problem putting teams over, especially on a big stage. So FTR Acclaimed at Wembley with the Acclaim going over on FTR. That's a big rub. That's 2 huge rubs, like in the span of 2 weeks. Not even.
Do you think Young Bucks will be left off Wembley though? I can't believe they'll leave themselves off Wembley.
So I want to ask you that, Simon. Who would you rather have on the card? The Young Bucks, FTR, or Acclaim? Which 2 teams?
I like Young Bucks because I've watched them in TNA since 2009. Were they in TNA? So I'd like Young Bucks personally. So I've watched them for years and years and years.
So you have Young Bucks retaining Wednesday then?
Yeah. So I like them. I watched them for years. That's just my preference.
But I said the Acclaim would make sense though from the way they've been building them up, the story that they're telling.
It would.
Right.
I mean, you can't have the Young Bucks on TV because they only have so many days, and it makes sense to put them on a team that can be on television.
Yeah,
Now all of a sudden you have an active tag team, right, that is on TV quite a bit that can match up with a lot of other tag teams that you're going to want to start bringing to the forefront, right, that aren't
Like,
named FTR.
do you think it's possible that the Young Bucks asked for this match to happen because of the backlash they're getting online, and they said, "Just take the belts off of us"?
Quite possible, yeah, because they do listen to that stuff.
Yeah, because it seems out of the blue.
Oh,
Like all of a sudden we're getting this match. We're getting after all these weeks and weeks and weeks, and then not coming then not even being on TV to counter the claim. All of a sudden we're getting the match on television. It just seems very weird to me.
yeah, but it's quite possible that they seen that and it's like, okay, let's do something to
Yeah,
address this, right? So, and Tony will do that too. Like you've seen things suggested online, and all of a sudden you see it, right? Because it makes sense. It was a good idea. Right? So they do listen to things and they monitor things. Obviously, they don't do everything they see because the place was shut down.
I
But
honestly think FTR and Acclaim. I would rather see that happen since Young Bucks are part time now on their contracts.
yep.
yeah. and and there's a fair amount of good build for this acclaimed FDR thing. They're more focused on that right now than they are the Bucks, I find. So it does seem like they pivoted, yeah. Which I
And then Teddy even said in the comments too, which I like, because then you could have the Acclaim turn heel at Wembley too, and that's how they retain over FTR.
You could, yeah. There's a few ways they can go.
Because you can just tell that Daddy Ass wants them to go to the dark side. Like, you're not going to shake hands. We're leaving. Like he want maybe making them the sons that that his kids are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said before, and I still believe it. I believe that Acclaim is going to turn heel.
Yeah. I want them as heels. They're better as heels.
And if you did that and you brought Daddy Ass back into the fold, well, now all of a sudden you have a different dynamic of what you just had 2 or 3 months ago, right? The fun-loving scissor me daddy ass with the pink titles and the kind of goofing around shit. Now you still have 3 of them, but it's a completely different setup. So that would work if they did that.
Do you think Elite are losing all the titles at all in then? Do you think Jack Perry's losing and Okada to Claudio or not Dynamite? Do you think they're losing all the titles?
No, I don't think Jack loses.
And I don't think Okada loses.
And I don't think Okada loses. I think Okada's going to hold that title right up until the C1 this year. Because I think there's another story there that's going on that hasn't come to the forefront yet.
Yeah.
People will also be upset on Wednesday because the AEW World Champion is having a match.
Yeah.
I don't know why people get upset at that.
Well, people have been moaning Mercedes hasn't wrestled for ages. Then she gets a match and they moan, and the moaning she hasn't wrestled for ages. Then she gets one, then they still moan. So I don't get it.
Why isn't she on TV? Why isn't she defending her title?
Yeah, and then she defends it in the moan.
What a fucking waste. What is Tony doing? He can't book.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, then
Mercedes is in a match. Why is she on a match on Dynamite? Why is she facing this person? What are they doing over there? No, he can't book. You can't win. Like, it's fucking impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why isn't it? I get why she's facing Cena, but why is it on Dynamite? It should be on the pay-per-view. Then
she's got Britt Baker at pay-per-view.
Well, then the 25th would roll around. Well, now there's too many matches on here. Why are there so many matches? It just ripple effect. Right?
Exactly.
It's on, or All Out. It'd be the same thing. Why are there 14 matches? Because you told us to put everything on the pay-per-view and not put it on Dynamite or Collision. And we can't put it on Rampage because none of those matches are worthy of Rampage. And then you complain that there's nothing worthy on Rampage to watch.
Exactly.
I think I've just summed up the entire universe of what is complained about.
And Britt Baker only beat Sheeda 3 weeks ago on Dynamite. It makes sense storyline wise, and Camille debuted after that, so it all makes sense storyline wise where it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Camille will be involved in that because she's a heavy. That's what heavies do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They take care of business.
Yep.
Right? So,
I'd rather see 10 matches than 6 or 5.
well, I just want like when I watch a pay per view or PLE or whatever. Um, I don't have a like. Here's the difference. Right? Regardless of the amount of matches, if you sit down and you spend your Sunday evening with AEW, you're going to get 4 hours. Right? That's how long those pay per views are. But in those 4 hours, you're getting somewhere in the vicinity of 65 to 70% of what you're going to watch actually taking place in a wrestling ring. Right? That's the numbers that they generally put out. SummerSlam put out 45% of it in the ring, and it was 4 hours.
And a lot
So
of
there's
commercials.
there's the difference. You're watching a lot of even with the shorter cards, you're still getting the same amount of in-ring content. It's kind of smoke and mirrors is what they do. But I like a pay-per-view. I don't need 10,000 recaps and vignettes and to explain to me why I'm watching this. You know, I blocked off 4 hours of my evening to be here. I probably know what I'm expecting. So I shouldn't have to be told over and over.
And then they'll show you Rhea Ripley's best video package highlights and Roman Reigns' best video package highlights at middle of pay-per-view.
It's like I have YouTube, right? It's free, and I can go watch those things if I so choose. Just
Yeah,
get
exactly.
just there's a match in there somewhere. Get to it. That would be nice. Like at some point this evening.
But Stampede, don't you know they need that for all the people who need to be told
Well, I know they
what
do.
this storyline and
I'm aware.
what what this is,
They actually,
and also
they actually have a
those are the
list,
people
Leroy, of who is
who
face
don't
and
look
who
up
is
YouTube.
well. They actually have a list, Leroy, of who is face and who is heel, just so the fan know. It's like okay, Ray's a face, so now I'm supposed to be cheering her. Okay, got it. And then they will act accordingly.
And like
And it
lives
works.
with Dom, so you know she's heel because Dom's biggest heel in WWE. So you know to boo Dom, so it's obvious as well because she's with Dom.
Dom was on the list. Dom was on the
Yeah,
other list, right? So
yeah,
it's
exactly,
I'm supposed to boo Dom, right? Which is
exactly. And lives with Dom.
so why
And
do they have all
Judgment.
these piped in? Why do they have all these piped in boos if they have a list telling people to boo already? Like why do they have to double up now? Like just pick one or the other. Either pipe it in and don't have them on the list, or put them on the list, and then you shouldn't have to pipe in the boos because now your fan base knows what to do because of the list. I just kind of morphed into a fucking Jericho thing there, and I didn't even realize it with the list. WWE, you just made the list. But
Uh,
yeah,
Tony Storm just updated on Luthor. She said he just had his transplant surgery. Not sure what the transplant means, but that's that's what's going on right now. She said best wishes
oh,
go
oh,
out
gee.
to the best butler anyone could ask for, she said.
Do you think Luther turns at All In and helps Mariah May win?
Um, no, I think they do that straight up to win.
Oh, just
But I think we are going to get Mina and Mariah
Mariah.
because if you want to build up even more heat for Mariah May, you have her beat Mina Shirakawa
And
because
then
of love.
Mina can get Mercedes then at that New Japan show as well.
She could, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on the next few weeks there.
Yeah,
There's All In, there's the New Japan show, and then there's Olive, and then there's shows.
yeah.
There's a lot going
Mercedes
on.
is very busy. She's got 4 or 5 matches in the next couple of weeks. Very
Yeah,
busy.
yeah. So she's gonna be quite busy. Yeah,
Yep,
she's
very
being
busy.
she's
Imagine
being
those.
booked horribly though, but quite busy.
Yeah,
Can't figure
yeah,
that out. It's a mystery wrapped up in a riddle how people view things.
yeah. I've been monitoring Mercedes. I did a Twitter space on it last night, having a go at Eric Bischoff. I did 2 or 3 hour one, so I did. I answered that last night.
Speaking of a mystery wrapped up in a riddle, For those of us that have been following the G1, there's a lot of different ways this can go. In B block, right now, Finley, Jeff Cobb, David Finley, Jeff Cobb, and Ren Narita all have 10 points. Followed closely by Konosuke Takeshita with 8, then Hiroki Goto with 8, and Yota Tsushi with 8. There's a few gentlemen eliminated. Uemura is out. He got injured, so he was going to face Bolton Oleg tomorrow. Oleg will get the win due to forfeit, but he's already out too. Hiner is out, and El Fantasmo is out. El Fantasmo faces David Finley though, so I would look for an upset there. I think Takeshita gets in. I think Finley gets in, and I think Yota Tsushi is your 3 coming out of the B block. Is there anybody else following this? The G1?
I was watching it today, right now while we're doing our thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching it.
So that would be I think ELP takes Finley out of the bye because the top point getter is going to get a bye, and then the 2 and 3 face off to face that person. A block, Zack Sabre Jr. has already punched his ticket to the bye, and then we have Evil with 10. Naito with 10, and then we got Takagi with 8, Sanada with 8, Jake Lee with 8, Great O'Khan with 8. Gabe Kidd is out, Shota Umino is out, and Callum Newman is out. So I think of that there. I think Naito, where he's the champion, I think he's going to be one of the second or third place guys, and I think Shingo is going to be the other guy, Shingo Takagi. I think he's going to knock out Evil and get in. But this tournament, I think it's Sabres to lose. But I would like to see him and Takeshita in the finals. I think that would, as Sean Rassap would say, I believe that would hump.
And he get AEW a lot of press in Japan as well. Get a mainstream press in Japan, so it's good for Asian market for AEW for Japan.
Most definitely, and it'll draw a lot of eyes to the tournament too. With Takeshita,
yeah,
Takeshita won't win it, right? But they kept Sabre and Takeshita in different blocks. I think they did that specifically for a reason. But Takeshita has been the star of that tournament. Like he has just been putting on just incredible matches. That match with El Fantasma was incredible. So was the match with which was also this week, Zack Sabre Jr. and Gabe Kidd. That was just incredible wrestling. So it's not all good. Like there's a lot of matches that go on in these things. So for people that tune in, don't think that you're getting 9 matches that are all like 8.5 out of 10. You're not, right? But you're going to get quite a few of those throughout those tournaments, and you have. Like, it's been really well done so far. So, very much looking forward to the next couple of days because it's the final set of matches for both blocks. Starting tomorrow.
Okay, guys, we're going to end this space in about 20 minutes. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss? Bring it up. Now's the time to speak.
Start him.
Wes is back from his meeting. Go ahead, Wes.
I had a question for Stampede. I don't know very much about it, but the high speed championship. I was wondering, can they bring that to like AEW, but like I don't know what it's all about, but like a fast, better, like kind of make it better than like the speed champion or whatever in WWE, but like more of a high space, high speed, like hard
Lay
hitting.
off the
15
speed.
minutes.
Didn't you learn that in your last meeting?
Okay, so the high speed champion. You are referring to the title over in Stardom.
Yeah, I just wanted to know more about that and something we could see in AEW.
It's not. Don't take this high speed championship, and it's not the same kind of title. No, it's not. No, it's not the same type of title. It's just another belt that they have there.
Cause I just thought Stardom was all about like really fast women going at it, and
they are. They all are.
uh,
They all are. there's very, very few slow matches over in Stardom. It's like those women move around the ring at a high rate, and yet they are still very, very precise in what they do. Like I watched I watched the day one today, and it's like just some of the matches there were just incredible. Like I said, like even the Anna Jay match, it was just over 5 minutes long, but you could see like she adapted quite well to that style, so she's fitting right in.
Is
But
is
just
it work same as G1? Do they do as many matches, and does Anna J do it all month like G1 sort of thing?
same setup,
Yeah,
Simon. Same setup.
yeah.
So she'll be going from like it started yesterday, August 10th. So they'll be going all month, and they're just
Mm,
go, 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 go. Like there was another one today, but there's different blocks too, right? Same as the G1.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
red stars, blue stars, block A, block B.
yeah.
But it's nonstop. Like, she'll be getting quite the education in a very short amount of time.
Is Mayo in it? Is Mayo in it?
Iwatani?
Yeah,
Yep. She
yeah.
faced Tam Nakano today,
Oh,
or yesterday, I should say.
Did
yeah.
you guys see? Did you guys see AZM's Canadian Destroyer off the top rope? That was nuts.
Yeah, and she's another one, right? Like Azumi. She's just an incredible performer, right? And she didn't, and that match was quite good, and that didn't even make my top 15.
Hmm.
But there's 4 Stardom matches in my top 15 this week.
Was
That's
that
from that's from one day.
Oh,
Like
dang.
that's how good some of these matches are. Right?
Did they?
Oh no, it
Did
did. Sorry. Yeah, Momo Watanabe and AZM. That was my third rated match this year or this week. Starlight Kid and Suri, that was excellent. Micah and Natsupoi, that was another one that made it in, and Iwatani and Nakano. So those were the real standout ones.
Do you
did they
think
do?
Mercedes will go
Oh,
after a
sorry.
Stardom belt? Do you think Mercedes will go after a Stardom belt and try and win one?
I don't think she will. Maybe not a Stardom one, but I can see her going after Iwatani's because she has the
Yeah,
IW. Iwatani
get a
has the
ring.
IWGP. Right?
Yeah, get a baby back, a belt back.
Yeah, the red belt over there, Natsuo Tora has that. I don't see that being a matchup they would do with Mercedes.
Yeah.
Natsupoi has the white belt. That matchup will be quite interesting, but I don't think
Ooh.
there's enough people in North America that know Natsupoi. I wish they did.
Yeah.
They don't. But if she
Yeah.
ever got over here, she'd be quite over.
Yeah.
How
But
about
she has.
Tikla's? How about
But
Tikla's belt? Oh.
Natsupoi has 2 titles right now.
Yeah.
Was that women's death match part of the Grand Prix, or was that just a regular match?
The death match? No, it wasn't on the. No, it wasn't on that one.
They had
They
like
had
a
a
Stardom
couple.
death match a couple days ago.
The ones that were on the show 10th. Thekla did wrestle them. She was in She was in an 8-man tag match.
Hmm.
Yeah. They won though. You really like Thekla, don't you?
I do. Or
I
Tikla.
can, I can tell.
Doesn't she have a title that Mercedes could take, or is that trios or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the goddess of stardom champion. So
Let me see.
that's like a 3-way title.
Oh,
She's with Momo Watanabe and Oedo Tai. But she just won that 20 days ago.
I could see Mercedes being a part of that Stardom Grand Prix next year.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. She'd be good at that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd lose her for a month. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have the titles that she has now. She couldn't have them. Like she would have to be doing something different where she would be out of that scene to go over and do that, and then that
Bad
would get her.
idea, Wes. Keep an
That
AW.
that would then get her a shot if she were to win the whole thing at the top belt or the top title
Not a bad
in
idea.
Stardom, which is usually they seem to be doing at Queendom. So it'll be a
Yeah.
couple of months down the road after that.
I don't think
I don't.
Tony Khan would want to
I
lose her
don't.
for a month, would they?
I
No.
don't. I don't see them doing it. A great idea. Like I mean, it'd be interesting.
Well, I
You
know
know,
she wants to
TK,
do her world tour run. She wants to do that. So
TK
well,
will want to lose her for a month.
she's going to get around. Like
Mm.
she'll be going places. She won't just be on AEW TV. Well, this month she's wrestling for New Japan.
Yep.
she has,
Capital Collision, right?
she has 3 title defenses this month.
Yep.
Busy girl.
Yep.
Busy girl.
Definitely.
Day two of that has already taken place. Got the results here. I won't say any of the results because in case anybody's going to watch this.
When's the next Anna J match?
See if I can find that out for you, Wes. It was not today. And I don't have the full schedule up for that yet, but I will get that for you, Wes. I will probably send that
Thank
to you
you.
in a message.
I just want to say that check out what's in the Titantron. Um,
I already retweeted it for you, JYD.
yeah, I was like, I'm crazy. That's crazy. Comparing me to Junkyard Dog in the Mid South Coliseum type shit. So,
Good shit, man.
oh, sold out house for New South. I'm gonna bring the picture up. Hold on. That's probably I wrestled for them for a couple years now. I think this is probably the time where they're most on fire they ever been. Here we go. Where that picture? There you go.
Well, I was just looking through.
All the people in it.
There's 2 shows on the 30th: Capital Collision and Emergence TNA. Interesting.
That big ass crowd, electric. But yeah, those shows are gonna be fire too. So
TNA only got
Capital Puncher is gonna be.
TNA only got one match announced so far, the X Division title Ultimate X match. Maybe they're waiting to see if they have any roster left by then.
When do you think they announced Mercedes' opponent for that? When do you think announcement comes from Mercedes' opponent? They haven't announced it yet, have they? They're waiting on it.
They're not having a roster, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, they haven't announced her yet.
Nope.
Trish Dora and Hanako's on there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6 matches announced, so they'll be adding to that as it goes. I just
We
hope they don't
keep
rush
asking, Mercedes on Instagram Live. She don't even know when it's getting announced herself. We keep asking. She don't even know herself when it's been announced. She ain't got a clue. She don't know. Yeah.
They don't tell her nothing.
Nope. She don't know herself.
Be like that when you be the champion or whatever. They don't tell you shit until like weeks before.
We might find out at All In after the Britt Baker squash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
10.
that could be part of it too, right? They can't announce one thing
So
before another thing. Right. They can't
yeah.
announce this until that takes place, right? So
Yeah. So after.
I used to get that all the time when Forbidden Door would be on the go. It's like, why can't they announce this stuff earlier? It's like, well, because there's other things in play. If you announce it too early, you're going to ruin what's going on over there. You'll already know. See,
They
that's
did
my
that with John. They did that with John Moxley before Forbidden Door, didn't they? Had a title defense in New Japan, I believe, didn't he? Then they had one at Forbidden Door, and they announced it earlier than they should have done, didn't they? Or something. I remember. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Yeah, it was the one that he had with Evil, I think.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, EO's ex fiance. Yeah, I remember.
which actually wasn't a bad match. I was shocked. I was kind of impressed with Evil the last little while, believe it or not. I never thought I'd put that sentence together, but here we are.
It's not as good as his ex-fiance. Nowhere near.
Anything else, guys?
Shout out to the mothership getting a W in DDT. Alley catching Dark Sheep getting a win at DDT. So shout out to them getting a win. I just seen a picture of it. So
Cool.
I think we should all do a meetup at the Globe Life Field Stadium next year for the show, and we could all enjoy a show together, and we could have a live spaces in front of the
You paying, or
arena.
you can start doing double door dashes, or what?
that.
Make
Is this in the United States?
Yeah, Texas. The one show
Yeah,
in Texas.
yeah. I'm not
Are
going
you
to the United
paying?
States,
Are
and
you,
I'm definitely not going
are
to
you,
Texas. So that's
are you paying my? Are you paying for my flight? Paying for my flight.
So it
The long one.
sounds more like all in next year. It's that or nothing. We're Stampede.
all in. I'll go to. Yeah, if it's up here, Canada, I'll go. If it's over where Simon is, I'll go there. If it's in
You're
Exactly.
Japan,
going across to Simon's house. All right, sweet.
If it's in Japan, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right? But no, I'm not going to the States.
that'd be cool to go to that Japan
I'm
show,
not,
Dynasty.
I'm not going to the States. Forget all that.
He don't trust the
Yeah.
government. I don't blame him.
No, I'm just going to wait until things kind of simmer down a bit. see how things play out after the fall. Maybe I'll change my mind.
All right, guys. I think we'll call it a night then. We'll be back on Tuesday after NXT for the NXT and Raw wrap.
I did have one thing that
Go
I
ahead.
think should be mentioned because WWE won't fucking mention it. Well, they won't. Tavion Knights. He's showing out really well so far in that N1 tournament. I seen his match. It was quite good, quite good. So hats off to him. So great learning experience for him. Who's the other gentleman over there that they sent? Him, not so much. Brooks Jensen?
Charlie Dempsey. I
No,
thought Charlie.
Brooks Jensen, I think. Him, not so much. You got to step up his game a bit. But Tavion is taken to that style over there like a duck to water. So hats off to him.
Where's AJ Styles disappeared to? He just disappeared.
I would have.
Face of planet. Where's
I
him?
would have. Yeah, it's James Bruxton and his. No, it's Brett over there too.
Josh Briggs, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Brooks Jensen.
Yeah.
He's over there too. But yeah, I'm glad he took to sure like no and he's like doing this thing over there because normally it's either hit or miss for wrestlers over there.
Yeah, you pick up on
especially
it,
amateur.
or you don't. Yeah. But I have all
So
the confidence in the world though when he gets back, and he looks improved from when we last seen him. That WWE will credit all that to the performance center.
Yeah.
no, I think I think the performance center they'll give credit to the Noah Dojo and shit.
Yeah. Oh, the performance center will. Yeah, I don't think they do it on camera. Well, maybe. NXT, maybe. Yeah, main roster won't. I'm only saying
Only
that
way
because
you know about EO's match is because you put it on their Instagram. You go on EO's Instagram, Marigold match there, but they didn't even mention it on Raw. They didn't even mention she was wrestling it on Raw. You'd have to look on EO's Instagram to know she wrestled.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that little partnership is going to last anyway. Once they pry Julia out of there, they'll drop Rossi like a hot fucking potato. So, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Definitely.
After they drop him off, do you think Tony Khan will
No.
go over there?
Nope. Tony won't have any. Tony will have nothing. If it's possible to have less than nothing to do with somebody, that's what Tony will have with Rossi. he won't have anything.
Just taking his talent away.
Well, Rossi was the main stumbling block why AEW and Stardom never worked together. It was Rossi. So I don't ever see those two people work together. And plus, just the type of person that Rossi is, right? He's not a good guy.
Oh.
So that will Marigold and AEW. I don't ever foresee that being a thing.
Okay.
Nah, I don't think so. I heard Kenny say something about it, so he knows all the stuff. He knows some stuff out there too. So. But yeah, shout out to MLW and putting on a great
Car-
thing. I saw it today.
Carlos gave a shout out to MLW.
I wouldn't say great, but it was a show. Okay.
Well, you did shout them out. I didn't
I
say
did shout
about
it
what.
out, yeah.
I didn't say about what. I just said
Well,
you mentioned them.
I'm just saying, like my boy. I'm just being personally biased of Alex Kane and
You
them.
are, but it was not a good
Yeah,
show.
it was mediocre. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But
Only
no,
three.
but again, to keep it, there was two LGBTQ representation, so I will shout that out. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I just looked.
Well, Thomas, I didn't know he was.
I just looked it up. Only got 3 votes so far, but it's coming up. It's coming up with a solid 4 rating. So,
I didn't know Mr. Thomas was in there.
No, Alex Kane and no, Alex Kane and then what's his name? And then what's his name? The Akira. What's his name?
Oh, okay, yeah,
Those two.
okay,
No,
yeah.
no, not that guy. Mr. Thomas was that be going down there. What's up, baby?
But he likes the white women, so.
Of course he does. All right, guys, we're gonna call it a night there. We'll be back on Tuesday after NXT, and we'll be back on Thursday as well to talk about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
All right, have a good night, guys.
night, guys.
See you
All right, Chip.
later. See you later.